Fanatics isn't just our name, it's who we are. Loyal, passionate fans dedicated to our favorite teams and to the sports we love. That's why we're honored to be able to offer fans the world's largest collection of official sports apparel and sports jerseys from all the leagues, teams, and players you love. We feature a wide selection of gear from every league, including NFL, MLB, NBA, NHL, and NCAA merchandise, which allows us to serve fans of football, baseball, hockey, basketball, lacrosse, soccer, golf, and everything else that gets your heart pumping. Go to Fanatics.com by using the QR code on your screen right now to celebrate your teams.
And welcome in to another episode of InsideEdge Primetime, mixed with a little Cavs postgame for Game 5, and you found the place to be. This is the InsideEdge Network. I will not introduce myself first because I was taught as a young child to not be rude to other people. I'm going to introduce to my right, Kyle Cornell. He has some questions, as you see in the subheader. You got him on the Side Hustle Wrestling Podcast with AA Anthony Alford. And if you tuned in last night, and if you didn't, I'll let everybody know. Unfiltered with Kyle Cornell, Monday through Friday, 5 to 6 p.m. here on the Inside Edge Network. Happy to have him. And also, my co-host, my bro, I see him every day. He is a man that has a controversial chicken sandwich list. He is none other than Chad, Bryan, usually to my right, your left. But today he's over to my left, your right. Gentlemen, how are we doing? This is a Cavs post-game show. We'll reveal the score real quick. They do win 125-120. Before we get into all the basketball talk, we'll be here for a minute. How are we doing?
No,
Not everybody at once. Not everybody at once. Not everybody at once, okay? Okay.
Eli, you gotta say, hey, Chad, how are you feeling?
Dude,
Kyle,
well,
what about
I
you?
just thought everybody would be happy to say hello. Chad, we'll start with you. How are you doing?
I was enjoying the standoff, but I guess I'm fine. I mean, the Cavs won a basketball game. That was cool. They finally started playing some defense in the fourth quarter. I guess that was cool to see. I still remember before the series, and I said I felt uneasy.
Yes.
I don't feel better. I still feel uneasy. It's fine, I guess.
All
Kyle,
right.
you go now. That's your turn. How are you?
Kyle, we're handing the baton off to you. How are you feeling after the Cavs' victory in Game 5?
Well, they won, I guess. Yeah, that was fun. I tell you what, I have not watched a full Cavs game bell to bell until tonight this season. It's been a lot. I've watched bits and pieces here and there, that kind of thing. That was tough to watch. As a Cavs fan, I have the logo tattooed on my forearm, man. I love that team, and that's the only Cleveland team that I really live and die with when it comes to sports.
Yeah.
That being said, it was hard. It was really hard. The defense, watching James Harden score 19 points in the first half and basically no-show the second until about maybe 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter when he started playing a little bit of defense. He closed out one time, and I was like, what the fuck was that the entire game? That's great. He covered the three perfect. And then I watched him give up an offensive rebound dunk, and it's like, my God, what is he doing? But you know what? At least he did something that Darius Garland didn't do, and that's he scores 20 a night consistently. So, I mean, that's in the playoffs. So, I mean, that's cool.
Even if it all does come in the first 11 minutes, that's fine.
Yeah, exactly. He blew it up, and then he reminds me a little bit remember when we had Mo Williams? Mo Williams give you a half of basketball. We were like, holy shit, that guy's an all-star point guard. He scored 20 points, had 7 assists, and then he finished with 21 and 8. And you're like, what the fuck happened to Mo Williams in the second half? Well, that's what James Harden said. He's about 4 inches taller. That's pretty much what you get. So, yeah.
And I think the other thing too, guys, it's kind of wild, right? Because I was watching the game with Papa Moon here at the house, and we were just.
Oh, I heard him in the background. He was pissed.
And it takes a lot for Papa Moon to get pissed.
No, it doesn't.
It depends. It depends. But here's the thing: we're watching the game, and you would have just thought we were the series is over if the Cavs lose this game, because that's really how it felt, guys.
It was. It was heavy.
Yeah, because they go to Toronto in Game 6. They had no luck in Toronto, Games 3 and 4, and I just was frustrated with this team, guys. I really was. The lack of front court presence, they are just getting bullied. Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, and James, you brought up James Harden, but I think the big thing here, is not James Harden and the lack of, time, I guess. It's just if the front court would produce, if Jared Allen would be the big that he was in the regular season, that when guys were talking about, and the league was talking about him being one of the best bigs in the league, I mean, it's getting to a point where this guy just becomes a completely different player in the playoffs, and it's not a one-off anymore. It is a trend. It is a trending thing that, since he's been in Cleveland and in the playoffs. And then you look at, Evan Mobley. This should be a personal series for Evan Mobley. Scotty Barnes, Rookie of the Year over him. They are in the same draft class, clearly. This should be something personal. You guys are always going to be talked about, and this is a big series, in my opinion, for Evan Mobley, and neither one have lived up to the bill. So I understand your concerns about James Harden maybe not getting enough run. I talked about the other night, Kyle, about 6 of 14. He shot well, but if he would have shot maybe another 5 to 6 shots, Cavs maybe win that game, and the series is over if, they still win out tonight, right? But I'm frustrated with the front court. Is that the biggest issue with the Cavaliers right now?
You want to watch some really funny video and highlight footage? Watch RJ Barrett dominating Evan Mobley in the post. Multiple dimes down the court. I noticed this immediately. A little shoulder. Mobley's 3 feet out of bounds, and RJ Barrett's got a layup. It was bad. And Barrett's a 2-guard. I get it. He's a tall 2-guard. He's 6'5", 6'6". He's strong. But Evan Mobley, almost 7 feet, and a defensive player of the year should not be getting pushed around by a fucking 2-guard. Bad. It wasn't it was one time too. It was 4 times he went down, and RJ Barrett just said, "Get the fuck out of the way," and just laid it up nice and easy. It's dude, you're getting killed. The lack of physicality. You saw a little bit from Jarrett Allen throughout the game. Defensively, offensively, it was hit or miss like normal when it comes to Jarrett. Yeah. But I mean, Evan Mobley just got fucking rocked. It was rough to watch, man. I'm sorry. It's really hard to see that guy after last season and the progression on the offensive end, especially, kind of become like Chris Bosh light, but at least Chris Bosh played, first team type defense. This dude is just, he disappears for long stretches, and it's easier when you've got 2 guards that hog the ball like Mitchell and Harden do. James Harden at the end of the game should not be in the game. I'm going to stand by that at this point. If it's a 8-point game or if it's a 2-possession game, get James out, because he is going to hold the ball. He's going to flail up some stupid ass mid-range shot because he doesn't have a step back 3 anymore consistently that deep in a game. And then they're going to give up possession because he's not going to run back, and they're going to get an easy transition layup and make the game closer. That's where you need Sam Merrill, or you need one of those guys, one of the younger guys, to come in and just be able to use their legs and spread the ball out and run your actual offense more. I've never gotten why teams do that in the last 30 seconds, minute, whatever it is, when you're up by 5, 6, 7, 8 points. Let's hold the ball. Run your fucking offense. Because the other team's going to be overplaying so much. If you run the proper play, you'll get an easy layup, and you'll extend your lead even more. And then you can walk back because they have to take the ball out of bounds instead of a turnover or a missed long rebound that goes for an easy fast break dunk or layup. I don't know why coaches tell superstars to do this. If they do, I would have pulled his ass right away and shaved his beard on the sideline for everyone to watch. It's ridiculous. You can't. He almost cost them the game twice in the last minute by turning the ball over and taking stupid, ill-advised fadeaway mid-range shots when he's got 3 teammates open in the corner. Yeah. What are you doing? You're going to cost the team the game. Him and Dean Wade did one of those fadeaway stupid shots too. It's dude, just because you wear 32 and I love that number does not mean you should be pulling that kind of shit. No. Know your role, shut your mouth, hang out in the corner, and get some rebounds and play defense. You're not. The ball should not be in Dean Wade's hands in the last minute to hit a shot. Sorry.
Yeah. And Chad, I'm curious. We did see a little bit more of a Max Strus effort from the Cavaliers in terms of getting him more minutes on the floor tonight, trying to maybe not play as much Dean Wade, because it seems as the series has gone on, he's struggled more and more. He had that early great defensive effort on Brandon Ingram, but since then it really hasn't been enough to really write home about. He missed a shot that could have got him to 4 right before halftime. A really good look from 3, and a lot of the Cavs 3-pointers most of this postseason so far. They've been a lot of clinks, so it just wasn't good. Well, what do you have to add on this front court, just this team and overall, what you seen tonight?
It feels like conditioning is a problem. I wondered out loud before we started, why do they not play defense for the first 3 quarters, right? And then you can watch. Something that Kyle said, you can literally watch James Harden's legs leave his body. He has 0 legs in the fourth quarter. All of his shots are coming up. They're all front rim. He has no lift at all. He has no quickness. He has no first step in the fourth quarter. Like you said, you might as well take him out at that point. Yeah. Get him a rest. Take him out. Let him rest from, take him out with 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. Let him rest until 8 minutes to go in the fourth and put him back in. Get him some significant time, because I know, I get it. He's been in the league for 17 years. He's been in the playoffs 17 times. He's played a ton of games. There's a lot of miles on those legs, man, but they were done in the fourth quarter.
Chad, especially when Dennis Schroeder is playing like he did tonight. He played out of his fucking mind. Like he was
Dennis Schroeder. Yeah, I was going to.
yeah. Like you need that kind of guy in the playoffs, a gritty defender who can make some big shots because he's got experience. One of the things Eli loves so much. You have to be at least 12 years in the league to be a veteran, right, Eli? But that's beside the point.
Easy, pal.
Continue. But that was the best trade they made. Like I told you guys the other day, if they would have just traded for a Schroeder and Ellis and got like a Walker Kessler or something like that inside, like this team would have been good enough with what they had. They didn't need Harden and all that stuff, but you like Harden because he's consistent, at least in the first few quarters, and he'll get you some points early on. But the thing I talk about too is turnovers, man. Like this team is not taking care of the basketball whatsoever the past 3 games, and they got lucky tonight as far as being able to overcome those points off turnovers. But I'll tell you what, man, it was bad. Like they were, how many points did Toronto get? Like almost 30 points off turnovers.
28. Like 28.
Yeah,
turnover.
That's usually a death sentence for any team in the NBA. Yeah, like it was bad. And Harden, I think, he's got to be averaging 6-7 turnovers a game now.
Yeah.
Like it's like, man, you're going to have the ball in your hands. You're going to be the pseudo point guard. You cannot do this, especially in the playoffs, because once you start playing teams a little bit further down the road that don't have, or they have more of the experience than Toronto does, because Eli, you do have that correct. This team in Toronto doesn't have a lot of playoff experience together per se. But like when you face a New York team, a Boston team, even an Orlando team, if they can take out Detroit, tell you what, Orlando, that's a nightmare for the Cavs because that was a 7-game series, last year, I think it was. And that was a tough series. Orlando's a really tough out because of how they play and their length. And they're physical. And that's the one Achilles heel the Cavs you're going to run into with any team you play in the playoffs now. Every team is playing physical. And when those big guys, like Eli said, that front court is not playing as well, and James Harden's turning the ball over, trying to throw cross-court passes behind the three-point line to a top in the fucking top key corner, like that's a bad idea for any point in time in a basketball game, let alone in playoff basketball. Like you just can't do that. He's either going to throw it into the hands of the defender, or the other time when he overthrew Max Strus by about 15 feet over his head and the ball went into the 5th row. It's like, okay, well, shit. Souvenir for a lucky fan, turnover Cavaliers. Like it's insane that the amount of stuff that these guys just did wrong, and they somehow found a way to win it just because they just have more talent, I think, overall, top to bottom, than Toronto does. It's close, but superstar talent, they have a little bit more, and it showed tonight. And the depth, the bench was fantastic. They needed that bench performance because the starters weren't bringing it.
Chad, I'm curious. They struggled so much in Toronto, games 3 and 4. And there's obviously, Kyle mentioned it, the home court, Cook and the role players are typically going to play a little bit better at home. The crowd's behind you. I had a lot of my bros and people that I rock with that were at the game tonight that I know were really excited when they pulled out the W.
We should have tuned in.
I mean, But I'll tell you this. I guess, and I'll ask you this more so, with Toronto, now going back to Game 6, they're down 3-2, but the way we're talking here on this postgame, if we didn't have the score below us, you would have thought the Cavaliers lost this game. How do you feel? I mean, we'll get into it a little bit more, but do you feel like the role players can play like this in Toronto? Because it did feel like they disappeared. Max Strus had a bad, I believe, Game 3 in Toronto. They've had some rough games, the role players, and to Kyle's point, they played well tonight. I'm not discrediting that. But when you get into Toronto, when you go up to the 6th there in Canada, and you have this noise and all that, I mean, are they going to be able to give that effort where if Jared Allen and Evan Mobley drop the ball again, they can pick it up for them?
No. I mean, no,
No.
Absolutely not. Am I wrong? Am I misremembering? Did they have 40 turnovers in those 2 games, in games 3 and 4?
They did. It was bad.
Yeah.
So they've turned the ball over 54 times now in the last 3 games of this series.
Yeah.
No, they're not going to be able to get it done. If Mobley disappears, if James Harden scores 18 in the first quarter and leaves the game, even though he's physically on the court for the next 3 quarters, and Donovan Mitchell, he's not Spida, he's Donovan. Let's get that straight right now. He goes by his government name when he plays like this.
That's right. We went over that on Primetime. Yeah. Yes, exactly. Right here on this show. Exactly.
Donovan Mitchell goes 7 of 17 again up there, and Mobley's gone, and Jared Allen is shielded because the lights are bright, whatever. No, they're not going to get it done. Absolutely.
Can I ask you guys a question too? What happened to the vaunted Jared Allen, James Harden pick and roll? Like that was killing teams the first handful of games when Evan Mobley was out. Like
you have to want the ball. You have to actually physically want the ball to be able to get it on a pick and roll. Jared Allen does not want the ball in his hands.
I guess my thing for Kenny Atkinson at this point would be like, you had a good rotation with when Garland was on the team where you played Garland and Allen and you played Mobley and Donovan together.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't that work in this situation too? When you can kind of stagger some minutes in the fourth quarter, then you can play everyone together. And, you've got some rhythms with two stars at the court at the same time. I'm not saying don't start all four together to start the game, but like after a few minutes, rotate, like go in through because they have a team that can go 9, 10, 11 deep. Hell, we saw Thomas Bryan tonight play some decent minutes. I mean, shit.
Yes.
Like that's the other thing they don't have, another big guy. Again, I would have gave JaVale McGee a call or someone like that and be like, yo, come get like 6 rebounds a game and like I don't know, like just get like 3 fouls a game. Just like we need someone physical.
One out. How about that? Just box someone out.
Like, is Dwight Howard still playing for the Shanghai Knights or whatever it is?
I was just thinking Dwight Howard. I was just thinking Dwight Howard. I was like, maybe that's too far. But like, I mean, who's gonna help the Cavaliers right now? I just don't understand it, guys.
What's doing? Do we know what he's?
Oh,
dude, it's
at this point, call us kids.
It's frustrating though, fellas, because it's like we should be happy about a Game 5 win. We're one win away, from going to the second round against, Kyle, you highlighted earlier, Orlando, more than likely.
Losing 5. I mean, okay.
How can you
playing like this and win another? They're not going to win. There's not another team in these playoffs that they can beat playing like this. There's not.
I will tell you guys right now, this is the norm for any Cavalier team that hasn't had LeBron, at least in the first round or two. Everything's more difficult. We talk about teams like San Antonio and Oklahoma City, even Boston, teams that blow teams out and that just look even like I think Boston's up 3-2 in their series or something like that, or 3-1, or Boston just won, I think, their series. And it's like even San Antonio, like they just look better than the teams they play, even if it's close. With the Cavs, they make everything difficult. It doesn't matter who's coaching. It doesn't matter who's playing at this point. Even the LeBron teams, they talked about back in 2016 when the Cavs won the title, they were 2-2 with Toronto. That was DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry. They had to win 2 straight games to take them in 6. And then, of course, we know what happened, down 3-1 to Golden State before Kevin Durant. Like, I mean, they just make things more difficult. And I almost wonder if it's the media mindset from us, too, of like, we put them down so much, even when they win these games, where it's like it's almost mental at this point that they just have to make things more difficult than they need to be. With a Toronto team that doesn't have the kind of experience, as Eli mentioned, that New York, Boston, any of these teams have. I mean, this should have been a sweep. And it could have been close because the talent's there. Toronto's got a good team. But this is all learning experience for them. They're playing with house money at this point.
And that's what stood out to me. We talked pre-show right before we got on here. We kind of had like a debate about, the experience. And I know you joke about veterans and 12 years. I get it. But what I'm saying is Toronto and Detroit are more similar than I think people want to consider, Kyle. And that's what I'm going to stand on because they are teams that are they haven't been to the playoff, deep playoff runs, that is. So they both are, in a way, Detroit, I know they lost in 6 last year to New York. New York, a strong team, and it has been for the Jalen Brunson era there. But Detroit and Toronto are more similar than people want to think, I guess, right? I mean, Detroit's a little more physical, I'll say, but they're both teams that kind of don't know any better, right? And they're in that still, like, getting to that next stage. And that's why it felt like this Cavaliers team, this was the perfect route. I wasn't one to be like, try to match up. And if you lose this game on Tuesday, you got to win on Thursday to get to the fourth. No, play who you got to play. But this is the card that was dealt. The cards were dealt, and it lined up perfectly where you play Toronto, and you're going to get either Detroit, which I understand they're the 1 seed. I get it. But J.B. Bickerstaff is the head coach of that basketball team, and he is not a playoff coach. And then you have Orlando. And I guess out of all of them, Orlando would be who I'd be worried about the most. But here we are, talking about a Game 6 in Toronto, where if you have listened for the last 20 minutes since we've been on air, you would think that we are already prepping for our Game 7 coverage. That's how it feels.
I am mentally getting ready for that game, yes. I mean, yeah.
You need your superstars in those moments to step up, especially on the road in the playoffs. And I can only speak to my experience, too, when I played road games or whatever it was. I cherish those games more than home games. I loved feeding off the crowd and hearing the people boo you. And part of it's like the villain and kind of like the fuck you role to me. It's like, yeah, okay, like this is fun. Like, it was fun. It's fun to be. Yeah, please. It's fun. It's fun to be in those environments. Guys like LeBron, MJ, Magic, all these ones, these greats that won titles and played some of the biggest basketball moments. They cherish that shit. Cavs won that game in Game 7 back in 2016 at Golden State, the team that just won the championship the previous year. They loved it. They ate that shit up. Kyrie, LeBron, those guys loved it. These guys have to love it. Donovan Mitchell has to go into Toronto in Game 6 and say, you know what, bring that shit. I'm going to drop 40 on you guys. Like, I'm going to show you.
Pressure is a privilege, right? I mean, you should enjoy those. That means you're having a good career. When you have a lot of high pressure moments, that means you're doing some things. You should appreciate it.
It's a great opportunity. It's a great opportunity for them now to kind of silence the people too, like us, that are like, hey, can you win on the road now? Against a team. This thing that Eli mentioned too about a team that doesn't have a lot of experience and they're younger and all that stuff. Those are kind of the more dangerous teams. Like, with New York, you're going to get a battle. With Boston, it's going to be tough. Like, some of these teams that have won or have been deep into the playoffs, they have the experience. They're ready. They're going to roll with the punches. A team like Toronto, a team like Detroit, if they can squeak through, it's like they're dangerous as hell, man, because they don't have anything to lose. They don't have, last year look back at it and say, oh, we made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Now we're going to overthink everything. Like, no, they're like, fucking, hey, we're happy to be here. We're just going to run really hard and try to beat you. And that's what Toronto's been doing.
Yeah. And it's you guys, we got to take a quick pause here for just go ahead and show off our fantastic partners. You can go ahead and check out the QR code above Kyle. Go to the InsideEdgeNetwork.com/partners. We're going to talk about Donovan Mitchell, though. You brought up a good point about Donovan Mitchell. Thanks, Kyle. We got Donovan Mitchell.
Fuck you, Eli.
You did it right. No, you did it right, pal.
I feel weird being this far away from it, man. Like,
I'm sorry. You'll be back there tomorrow. Don't worry. Donovan Mitchell, that is the point of discussion. That is who we'll be talking about when we come back. Because where is Donovan Mitchell when we need him most? The Cavs do win tonight, 125-120. They're moving up to 3-2 now in the series. They're one win away from the second round. They'll wait, if they get there, the winner of possibly the Orlando, or, not possibly, but it'll be either Orlando or Detroit, that series. So we'll keep an eye on that. And possibly, who knows anymore? Possibly they may get out of the first round. We'll talk about that.
And I have something that no matter what happens in this series, I think the Cavs should do this offseason. So stay tuned for that.
Absolutely. Kyle's got some strong takes. If you watched the pilot episode of Unfiltered with Kyle Cornell, then we're going to have some strong takes. We got Kyle's take. We got Donovan Mitchell talk. Chad might review some more chicken sandwiches. We got a whole lot coming up here.
Yeah, we got time to this bullshit.
I got a bunch of delivery orders coming right now. Man. No,
Amazing.
Nobody delivers out here, man. I'm way out in the country.
Single-handedly fund DoorDash in Cleveland for the next number of days.
Right. If you're enjoying the great content, we are off to a great start. We were having fun with you. We appreciate you, whether you're East Coast, West Coast, wherever you are. Thank you for choosing Inside Edge Network for this Cavaliers postgame. We're here with you until 1 a.m. We got a very special edition. We got postgame and then Inside Edge Primetime, a little abbreviated. Chad and I will get the way back Wednesday at some point. And then Midnight Run with Anthony Alford. If you watched yesterday's show, it got unhinged. I had to talk to Double A. He's the program director. I had to talk to him and say, hey, dude, got a little unhinged
What the fuck is that guy doing? What is his deal?
Dude, I don't know, man. But, we love him. He'll be on at midnight. This is one continuous stream. You don't have to go anywhere, and I'd advise you not to go anywhere. A lot of talk about the Cavaliers after this. Kyle Cornell, Chad, Bryan, Eli Moon. We're back right after this.
Hey, I got something to show you guys. Take a look. It is spring. Happy spring to all of you. Take a look at what we have here for you from AlleyRoseFragrances.com. Beautiful spring scent candles here for you. Hand poured with premium fragrance and essential oils. How about this? Our coconut soy wax candles bring fresh, uplifting spring scents to your home. Made with clean, natural ingredients, they're a mindful choice for sensitive spaces and those who love effortless seasonal fragrances. You got to check it out right now. There's the soft bloom and the lemon bar candles, all healthy ingredients, all from AlleyRoseFragrances.com. And if you're a first-time customer, use the promo code InsideEdge20. That's InsideEdge20. Get this for yourself, for your friends, family, everyone. You want a good smelling home, AlleyRoseFragrances.com will make it happen. Again, AlleyRoseFragrances.com. Get the new spring candles. And when you order, if you're a first-time customer, InsideEdge20 is the promo code.
Whether you're searching for a baseball autographed by your favorite World Series slugger, a signed football by an iconic Hall of Famer, or the jersey of a world-famous soccer star, you've come to the right place. Here at sportsmemorabilia.com, the web's leading source of authentic sports memorabilia, you'll find more than 500,000 authentic products from nearly every professional sports league, team, and player. Not only will you find your next prized sports possession with ease thanks to superb customer service and tremendous site experience, but you'll have the satisfaction and peace of mind that every product listed comes complete with a certificate of authenticity and is fully backed by the sportsmemorabilia.com lifetime authenticity guarantee.
And welcome back to the Inside Edge Network. It is the Cavs post-game, Game 5 post-game reaction / Inside Edge Primetime. We're having a ball here. The Cavaliers, they do win, but we are not necessarily thrilled. Kyle Cornell back with us, Chad, Bryan, I'm Eli Moon, and we got a lot to talk about, fellas. Cavs do win 125-120. They are up 3-2 in this series, but guys, this feels more like if we lost. Honestly, I spent the break like reflecting. I was like, did we lose this game? Did I say the wrong score in the opening segment? Like,
No, we would have corrected you. Trust me.
I don't understand, fellas. And I want to ask this, Kyle. I know you have a strong take about the offseason, but I think before we address the offseason, we have to address what's going on right now, if that's fair.
Sure.
I think we have to talk about Donovan Mitchell. Another game sub 20 points. It just seems like where is Donovan Mitchell? I know he's on the court. I get it. We see him, but where is he, guys? I mean, either one of you could start, but guys, where is Donovan Mitchell when we need him most? Chad.
Listen, I don't know. I don't know what happened in try. I get you go on the road. It's tough to play on the road. I told you, Toronto's a weird place to play. For some reason, it feels, and I've never, I don't know if you guys know this. I've never played in the NBA. That's what I was going to say.
What?
I know.
6'3" and 46, dude. You're gonna be a solid veteran. What are you talking about, right, Eli?
I'm not threes, but I'm not.
Well, if only he's got to spend at least 8 to 12 years. 8 to 12 years, Kyle, and then he could be a veteran.
Yeah, I'd be a 7-year rookie. But listen,
You'd be the starting quarterback for the Browns in your rookie season at 46.
Possibly that's Brandon Whedon territory.
Hey, more coverage on the Browns at midnight run.
Or Tyler Shuck.
I love it. Chad, Donovan Mitchell.
What about him? No, I don't know. Listen, he didn't play very well on the road. And he thought, okay, well, he comes home to Cleveland. He'll be fine tonight. He'll give you the 30 to 35 points that somebody needed to give you, really, that I thought somebody was going to need to give you. Obviously, they got a little bounce scoring. They still won. But I don't know what's going on with Donovan Mitchell. I mean, it makes me wonder. I told you every year in the playoffs, he's got some kind of a lower body injury. Well, since he's been in Cleveland, he's had some sort of lower body injury, a calf, a knee, I don't know, something going on lower body. This year he's healthy, right? Coming in, there was no talk of any hamstring, any quad, any nothing. No turned ankles, nothing. So is there something that we don't see? I don't know. He just doesn't look like himself. He looks a little lost at times. I mean, there are times where it looks like he can do whatever he wants with the basketball, and then he'll go away and he takes some really funky looking shots, man. I don't really understand what's going on with Donovan Mitchell. I'm not quite sure. I don't know how to answer that.
Yeah, Kyle, what is going on with Donovan Mitchell? Do you have any other, maybe other ideas? Because to me, it just seems like at times he looks like he's just sprinting up and down the floor and doing track more than basketball.
I think you're seeing the live action learning how to play with James Harden in the postseason right in front of your face. I made that point a little bit earlier that James will take 20 seconds to dribble in the same exact spot. Like he will move maybe 3 feet. After taking a screen, he'll still move maybe 3 feet. And it stops the ball. And Donovan thrives in the open court. You see the over the head, Euro steps and the ball pulls and the transition basketball. What's one of the things you liked when Darius Garland was around? At least he pushed the pace. He was going to go and he was going to take it. James Harden is, at this point in his career, slow. And even in his prime, he wasn't breaking the sound barrier with his speed. It looked like he was taking his time up the court, being deliberate, and he had good enough agility and footwork when he got into the half court that made people
like a wind sail on his face, Kyle. I mean, he's got a whole wind sail. He's not going to be able to, you know what I mean?
We haven't seen babyface James Harden since 2012, and we never will again. This guy's, it's his whole brand. It's his beard. If he shaves it, someone's dying tonight. That's
oh my God.
If he shaves it, he's going to average 8.5 points a game. I don't even think he's the same player.
Yeah, he should shave it and put it on top of LeBron's head so that way he can finally have real hair. I don't know. It's
LeBron's stressed, man. He has no Reeves. He has no Luka. All right, give him a break.
Reeves is back. Reeves is playing.
I know, but he didn't have him the first three. Okay, look, okay.
He didn't need him. They're up 3-1. Fuck those guys.
True, though.
Fuck those white kids, man. We don't need them.
Listen, let me ask you. I was going to say, speaking of white kids, but that's not a good segue at all.
What's the best one?
So are they not creating enough? Does James Harden not create enough space for Donovan Mitchell to move? Then is that what you're saying? Because if Harden's always there, right beside him at the top of the key, or right just past the 3-point, whatever, I feel like there's just not enough space for Mitchell to really create with Harden right there, right? I don't know.
It's not even that. It's that James and Donovan, for that part, they're not off-ball players.
Yeah.
So he's not doing the Steph Curry, let me give the ball to Clay or to Draymond and let me run off 3 screens to get an open 3 or anything like that. Donovan, that's not his game. Even when he catches off a screen, he's looking to attack. Yeah. You rarely see him just take it and pull up a shot unless he's still taking a dribble, then a step back or whatever. That's not his game. So you're playing off of that, and he's a shorter guard again too. And we've talked about this before. I mentioned on your guys' show. Yeah. Building around a 6'1" guard usually doesn't work. Steph Curry's 6'3", and he's got length, he's got long arms, he makes plays, he's an underrated defender. He's not super physical, but he led the league in steals multiple times. The guy can play defense. For as much people want to shit at him for it, I'll take Steph Curry's defense over James Harden most times. James is thicker and harder to move for rebounding, but that's about it. Other than that, you're not getting much on that end for James, except for, like I said, there was 1 or 2 plays in the fourth quarter where I was like, oh, he actually closed out on the 3-point shot. That was kind of good. And they missed it because he closed out because he is 6'5" and has the reach and shit like that. He's gotten so far deep into his career, and the head has been blown up so much about the offensive side of his game. People forget when he was a 6th man in Oklahoma City, he played really good defense. He was all over the court. And he scored 15, 16 points a game, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. He was doing everything. And then again, going to Houston, just always the best offensive player of all time, and all the creativity and the double step back. That's a travel, or is it, or anything like that. There's so much he kind of revolutionized on the offensive end that he just forgot to put effort in on the defensive end. Because you guys have seen when he does put effort in, he can be a bit of a pain in the ass on defense. And that's good. You want that kind of player. But he just, again, Chad, you mentioned this too, man. It's just his stamina, his ability. He'll play every game. Yeah. He'll always go out there because he loves basketball.
Yeah.
But you kind of wish he kind of took it more seriously like Luka did a little bit, where it was I'm going to get in the best shape of my life to be able to get ready, because if I don't, I'm going to lose my opportunity. And that's one of the biggest reasons why James has not been able to get over the hump. It's obviously some lack of clutch and key moments in Game 7s, whatever it is. You can blame Chris Paul's injury to his hamstring back with the Rockets. for him not getting a finals appearance, besides obviously the one with Oklahoma City, which they lost. But I mean, which he also shrunk in that series too. But I mean, this is just get in good shape. 1 year, get in really good shape, man. You've made all the money you can. It's got to be about winning now. It's why you wanted to trade to this team. It's why all these players want to come play in Cleveland because they win 50, 60 games a year now without LeBron.
Yeah.
So, like, this is a thing where you need to step the fuck up and carry your own weight the entire game, not in the first quarter, not in the first half. If you want the ball in your hands in the last 30 seconds, you got to be able to do something with it, not fuck around and dribble 2 feet and pull up a fadeaway mid-range shot, hit front iron, and then not get back on defense.
With a late lead. Yeah, with a late lead, I get it. You want to use some clock. But is it not better to take an open shot with 8 seconds left on the shot clock than it is to dribble it until a half a second and throw up a 40-foot three? Like, is that not the better plan?
Run your fucking offense. They have a good offensive plan. Kenny Atkinson was brought in because he has offensive schemes for a team like this. Run your fucking offense. This is not an ISO team.
Run the offense through the post again. I mean, you've got the size advantage down there half the time. Run the offense back through the post. I mean,
But the problem is there's 2 things that stand out to me, fellas. And Kyle, I know you have an offseason idea plan for the Cavaliers. We are going to have to take a quick break here in just a second. We're going to save that for the final segment of this post-game show because I'm very curious, and I know it's going to be Chad had a chicken sandwich controversy yesterday. I don't know what we could get here tonight.
This is not controversial. Trust me. This is going to be very – I think a lot of people may actually agree with this. And Eli's changing the lower thirds now.
That certainly wasn't me, bro. I think we have a ghost in here. Yeah, I don't know. But regardless, we'll rock with it. Here's the thing, guys. I don't trust either guy, Donovan Mitchell or James Harden, when it comes to the toughness. Or, excuse me, shooting. The toughness for sure, but shooting the last shot. We keep talking about the last shot. Shooting the last shot. I don't trust either one of these guys right now to do that. And I don't trust the toughness, to go back to that, of this team. So I think I get they're up 3-2, but it doesn't feel like all right, we're about to go, call blouses in Toronto. This is over in 6. No, this is like, more than likely we're coming back here Game 7. We'll have the coverage on Main Event on Sunday, and I'll probably be mad, okay? And that's what it's feeling like. That's what it's feeling like.
They're going to win the series, but again, it's indicative of there needs to be some changes this offseason.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to tell you guys what I have in mind.
Yeah, absolutely. And Chad, I don't know who's out here. If we have a ghost, I know you like ghost stories.
I love it. Which one of you is Christy? Which one of you is Autumn? I'm confused on what's happened on my screen.
I'm Kyle.
Yeah.
Last time I checked, I don't know. I mean, the birth certificate may say something else. I had to go check really quick.
This is the yellow. Listen, this is the Cavs getting the yellow light going back to. I feel they should. I feel like they need to slow down a little bit. Use some caution going into Game 6 because it could get bad.
Slow down under the traffic light. Don't come to a complete stop, though. Just slow down.
Yeah, just slow
here's
down.
the great news. Here's the great news is, if you were wondering what other great shows we have on the network, if this is your first time, hello, welcome. Jersey Chase with Autumn Chisholm and Christy Akuti. They're on the Inside Edge Network.
What that show would look like if it was on right now.
And they talk a lot better about entertainment than we do, and they give a great sports take as well. But we're going to take a quick break here. We're going to figure out if we can turn back to the normal placards that we have, and Kyle Cornell is going to give an off-season plan on the Cavaliers on what could, what should, maybe what will happen with the Cavaliers. But that's Chad Bryan. That's Kyle Cornell. I'm Eli Moon. Somebody get the ghost out of this studio. This is the Inside Edge Network. We're back after this.
Booga, 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 booga.
There it is. Clean energy, bold flavors, no jitters. See why people won't shut up about Dubby. Clean energy, no jitters or crash. Helps you lock in and focus. Over 15 absolute fire flavors to choose from. Visit dubby.gg and use promo code InsideEdge10. Mosser Moments Photography is a husband and wife wedding photography team based in Cleveland, owned and operated by Bryan and Hallie Mosser. For the past 10 years, they've captured more than 100 weddings across Northeast Ohio and beyond, always working together as a true two-person team. Their style centers on authentic, emotional storytelling, documenting the real moments between two people in love and creating images that feel natural, comfortable, and true to the couple. Rooted in Northern Ohio, but inspired by their travels, Ryan and Hallie bring a warm, personal approach to every wedding day. Their work blends experience, consistency, and a genuine passion for helping couples relive their best day through timeless photography. Learn more at mossermomentsphotography.com.
And welcome back to the Inside Edge Network. Cavs Game 5 post-game show mixed with a little Inside Edge Primetime, mixed with some midnight run with Anthony Alford. He hopefully isn't sleeping somewhere. We might need to wake Double A up. After that Cavs game, who knows? Chad Bryan now in the middle. Whoa. I'm over here. Kyle Cornell, he's still over there. And yeah.
What kind of voodoo magic is this shit?
So look, I'm not a look. I never seen the movie Poltergeist, so don't be mad at me. But like, I feel like that was some Poltergeist shit. That like our whole thing changed. We come back and we're good.
Hey Eli, watch your fucking mouth, bud.
Oh yeah. Okay, my bad. All right, I'll put it in the swear jar.
Poltergeist, but you haven't seen it. Wouldn't even hit. What are you doing?
Oh my god, I'm such a hypocrite. Anyway, go on.
All right, so we're back. Cavs beat the Raptors 125-120 in Game 5. A rough one, if you ask any three of us, because it's not a matter of, okay, yes, they did win Game 5. We will, for a moment, say, good job, Cavs. But a lot of stuff that was alarming tonight. We talked about the toughness or the lack thereof of the team in the front court and the disappearance of the core four for the most part. I mean, they all seem to have their own significant issues. And, yeah, we talked about all that, guys. We have roughly about 14 minutes left. We'll again segue just into a little bit more Inside Edge Prime Time. We'll talk about NCAA. Kyle, you're more than welcome to stay, but if you got to hit the hay, we get it. But we're going to talk to NCAA. They have some news with the NCAA tournament. We'll talk about that coming up. And then way back Wednesday, Chad went way back, and maybe he got that ghost. But he went way back, and we have some way back Wednesday, and we'll prime you up for a midnight run. Yeah, yes, sir. But Kyle Cornell, you know what? Without further ado, you said you have an off-season plan. I'm willing to hear it. Chad, are you willing to hear it?
I am more than willing to. I've been excited for this for the last.
He's willing to hear it so much he's muted.
I love it. Kyle, the floor is yours.
I'm closer now. I can hear
my
it
God,
better.
that was funny. I don't even think he's doing it on purpose, too. That's the sad part. No, this is I look at the makeup of this team, and I look at Evan Mobley, and I see the lack of growth from the position that we're kind of valuing him as that centerpiece, and we're trying to line this up with Donovan's window to win a championship. And it seems like the moves being made have been catered more to get Donovan Mitchell to re-sign as opposed to looking at Evan Mobley's full potential. So I propose the Cavaliers going all in for Giannis Antetokounmpo this offseason. I would dangle Evan Mobley. I would dangle Jalen Tyson. I would dangle as many first-round picks as you're legally allowed to by way of the NFL or by the way of the NBA. I know they tried to push to be able to get 5 years out or whatever it is. I think hopefully that works so they can get even deeper. Like we're talking 2032 first round, whatever it is. A team with Mitchell, with James Harden, whether you like it or not, he'll probably pick up his option next year. He'll be here. If not, they'll re-sign him to a 2-year deal or whatever it is. a team with Giannis at that point, and then maybe Jared Allen hangs out, depending on how you get that trade going. But Evan Mobley obviously is the most crucial trade chip you have to a team like Milwaukee that would want someone to build on for the next 10 years. Whereas if you traded someone else in this group anywhere, it doesn't feel like it's a long-term thing for any of those teams that would consider, especially Milwaukee in this spot. I'm doing it. I think regardless of what happens this postseason, I don't see the Cavs making a super deep run. Even if you get to the conference finals by some hell or high water because you go through the 5 seed and the 8 seed and then get blown down, get the doors blown off by the Celtics in 4 games or 5 games or whatever it is. I'm looking at this team and I'm saying it's not good enough. And how long are we going to keep playing he just needs to reach his full potential card with Evan Mobley going into his 5th year at this point? It's like, again, I value patience a lot, but you don't have that luxury anymore. Donovan's got 1 year left on his deal, and then he can walk. And you talk about losing a guy who's a 28 to 30 point per game scorer. I know you don't usually want to build your team around the guards, so get the forward that everybody wants. And Giannis, who's 32, 33, but his game and his play style will last. He's just too damn long, too damn physical, and takes too well care of himself to not still be good for probably the next 5 to 7 years. So that's a pretty damn good window to have those 3 guys. And then at that point, too, if you move enough salary around, maybe there's a guy playing currently in Los Angeles and currently on our screens right now on ESPN that will look at that team and go, you're telling me Giannis, Donovan Mitchell, and James Harden? Maybe I will take the minimum and go over there to Cleveland, or I'll take a mid-level and say, fuck it, play my last year for the Cavs. Maybe they'll sign Bronny, too. Who knows? He'll be a free agent. I mean, you sign him for a couple million, and they'll have the cap room to do that. I think that's what they have to entertain, barring some sort of miracle run to the finals where they win it or they somehow can take either San Antonio or Oklahoma City to 6 games or 7 games, which, let's be honest, if they get there, they're going to breathe such a heavy sigh of relief. They're going to get fucking swept. I mean, that's just this reminds me a lot if they get there of the 07 Cavs, where it's like they probably shouldn't be there, and it's going to be really evident once they fucking start playing those games. But like with a little more talent overall than that team. Again, when your second option is fucking Eric Snow or some bullshit like that. Like,
hey,
this
easy.
is what you got.
No Eric Snow slander here on this evening.
Oh,
all right?
believe me, it's fucking snowing hard in this apartment. I'll tell you what.
Listen,
man. What about Boogie Gibson?
Yeah, and here's the thing, man. Kyle, you're not going to get any arguments out of me and Chad, or Chad and I. We have been we whispered the name Giannis before the deadline because we didn't want to say it too loud just in case he got here. We want to make sure, we didn't want to jinx it. But we have been absolutely talking about it here on Inside Edge Primetime. We're in full agreement with you. Giannis is the right move. He's disgruntled in Milwaukee. He wants to go somewhere. The only way, yes, you hammered it home. And Chad, I'm curious your thoughts. But Kyle, you hammered it home. Donovan staying here in Cleveland is very dependent on what the Cavs do this offseason because we've kind of talked about it here. Barring some absolutely surprising run, they're probably going to have to make some changes to this roster. I mean, some big changes. We're not talking, not signing your 8th or 9th guy on the roster. No, we're talking some big changes, folks. And I think Chad and I and I don't want to speak for Chad before he speaks, but I think Giannis is the right move. I'm glad you answered it before I even brought it up. I was going to ask you, does that entice and do you want LeBron James? But I'll kick it over to Chad first and then swing it back to you as well before we get out of here for the post game. Like I said, more than welcome to stick around for our NCAA talk. We're sticking with you folks for the next 3 hours or 2 hours now till 1 a.m. with Midnight Run coming up at midnight with Anthony Alford. So, Chad, what are your thoughts on Kyle's proposed offseason plan?
I agree 100%. I think Giannis is the move. I don't know that it's necessarily going to happen. I think they should try with everything they have. You don't get LeBron. Well, okay, you might get LeBron here. But I don't think it's a good move to bring LeBron in his 23rd, 24th, 59th, whatever he is. Is he a veteran yet? Do we know? Is he considered a veteran?
Listen, fellas. All right.
Is it just me? Or the only reason why I can't hear Chad is that I don't know.
Can you not hear
I can hear him loud and clear.
Hey, as long as you can. I just won't be able to.
Okay.
I gotta read lips.
So specifically, Kyle, I'm asking you. No. I think. Do I know sign language? No. I think it's a good idea. I think, listen, you don't want to bring LeBron in here as the centerpiece, right? A 43-year-old, 44, whatever, LeBron as the centerpiece. I think if he comes in and he can distribute and work around Giannis and Donovan Mitchell, whatever, and I think you maybe give Evan Mobley a little bit of room to go somewhere else and develop into whatever we thought he was going to be, which is a player. I think kind of like Giannis, right? Like we expected Mobley to develop into this unicorn type player, this top 5 player in the NBA. It hasn't happened. I don't know if it's the Cavs system or roster holding him back right now, but it's not working, right? I mean, we see this team; they're not going to get out of the second round again. They should win this Toronto series. They should. I'm not saying they will. It could still go 7 and end up very badly, but they should get out of the first round. I don't know that they'll get out of the second round, and if they don't, I think you have to you've got to make a decision. You got to go all in on Giannis. And if that doesn't happen, I think you almost have to consider blowing this thing up. You can forget about LeBron coming back. I told you earlier, Eli, he's not coming back to a team that's going 20-62. Would you? I wouldn't. I mean, he's already said he doesn't like the city, basically. He's not going to Memphis. He's not going to Milwaukee. He's not coming here. So I don't know. I for some reason, I just keep seeing Giannis ending up in New York. I see him as a Knick. I don't know why. I think that's going to happen. I just think that's the move. I think that's what's going to end up happening. But I think you got to go all in. I think it's a great idea to go all in and try. And if not, I think you're almost forced to think about blowing this thing up, unfortunately.
And my final question to you, Kyle, before we get out of here. A great analysis from both of you here on the Cavaliers. I mean, it's kind of a mess right now. Is Kenny Atkinson's job safe?
I'd hate doing this with any coach in any level just because it's easy to say, oh, he's not getting the job done. He's not doing this. He's not doing that, whatever. What's the better option? Everyone likes to just throw coaches under the bus and never have an answer for who actually makes sense in that role. Like I, for a long time, said that someone like Mark Jackson with this team could make a lot of sense because the way the 2-guard format was working, the way they had the younger versions of these guys with Darius Garland and all that stuff too and everything, the way he developed Golden State into that physical type team. Granted, it was kind of a bridge into Steve Kerr, and Steve Kerr obviously unlocked everything for them when it came to just being able to really flow and his offensive skill. Obviously from winning with Chicago and everything too, and San Antonio came full circle with Golden State as a coach. But I don't like getting rid of coaches when you don't have an answer. You don't know, yes, that's the guy that can really unlock this team. Like Kenny Atkinson in his 2 seasons has done a pretty damn good job, especially offensively, of unlocking this team a little bit more. Now it's balancing superstars and James Harden and Donovan Mitchell and everyone talking Evan Mobley out of the room as far as he's supposed to be this, he's supposed to be the centerpiece. He's supposed to be the guy they build around over the next 10 years. He's got to be responsible with that. I trust him to be able to do something offensively. It's just now the one thing that JB Bickerstaff did do, the defensive identity of that team was phenomenal. Even last season, they still had a little bit of the remnants of that left. He even said when Kenny came in, he wasn't going to change too much when it came to the defensive side. This year, it feels like they got a little bit more leaning offensive and kind of left defense on its own and didn't work on it at all. And you saw them kind of decline on the defensive end. You're seeing it especially now in the postseason, giving up 120 points, all these, they just don't do that. This is not that kind of team. So, I mean, you're kind of hoping he figures that side of the ball out, but offensively, I'm not really worried. The game 4 was an anomaly. Both teams shot like shit. It was bad. That just wasn't, you're not going to see that kind of game from Cleveland again until maybe the conference finals, if not the NBA finals, because that's the kind of speed and tempo those games usually get played at. But these first and second rounds games, they're going to be scoring 100, 110, 15, 120 points a game. It's going to be about defense. He needs to figure that out or get an assistant in that really will focus on that and kind of remind this team of how good they are defensively, because you have, a defensive player of the year. You've got a guy, in Jared Allen who can get up there and block shots and get physical when he's actually got some motivation behind him. You've got Tyson and Strus and even Sam Merrill, that little fucker, man. He can get around and he makes plays. Defensively, he gets rebounds too. He's physical and he can shoot the lights out. He's their version of Peyton Pritchard if Peyton Pritchard wasn't an actual midget. He's legitimately, it's bad. You look up his height, he's about 5'2". But he still scores 20 a game, and the Celtics have a 6th Man of the Year candidate every year because of Peyton Pritchard. So, he's that kind of player for Cleveland. They just had to find a way to unlock that. I think Kenny can do that. I would not look at these 2 years and say his job is on the line. Some people were talking about that going into the postseason. It's based on what? What kind of bar was set with Ty Lue when he won the 1 championship and then he couldn't fucking coach his way out of a box? The other seasons he had LeBron and that group together. I mean, what are we talking about? What standard of coaching are we dealing with here where there's an excellence of bar he's trying to reach that any other coach that's available right now would hit? Who's going to come in and get more out of this team right now as it's constructed than Kenny Atkinson? I honestly question if anyone. could do that.
Yeah.
What, Taylor Jenkins is going to be that guy? Like, what the fuck are we
Right,
talking about? Like,
right.
It's not going to happen.
Mid-90s Phil Jackson. That's
Right. Yeah, I'm in agreement with you. I'm just curious, the thoughts. We've talked about it on this show. I've talked about it on various shows here that I'm part of on the network that Kenny Atkinson is, not the problem. You can only teach somebody to be a dog so much, and then the dog's got to be a dog. And if they ain't a dog, then they're a cat, and we don't want any cats on the team, all right?
man. They have
Let's go
nobody
for
with
pussy.
toughness. They have nobody with a motor. They have nothing. I mean, they just go out there and they play basketball, and it's like a nice pickup game. On a Sunday at like your local gym, and you're watching them. They're just some nice guys, and they do some really nice things. They hit some shots, and that's about it.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. And fellas, we'll have a lot of reaction here on the Cavaliers. They do win tonight, 125-120 in Game 5. Thanks for everybody out there rocking with us for this first hour of Cavs post-game coverage. Again, we had some exciting news on the network yesterday with, look at it, the three of us. It was Kyle Cornell announcing on Inside Edge Primetime that Unfiltered with Kyle Cornell will be making its official daily run starting next week. That'll be Monday, May 4th, 5 to 6 p.m. here on the Inside Edge Network. And then Inside Edge Primetime with Chad and I will be extending to Friday. So it'll be Monday through Friday, same time, 10 to 11 p.m. And then AA Anthony Alford, he's joining the fun too. He'll be going Monday through Friday, 12 a.m. to 1 a.m. He tried to confuse a few people yesterday. He said, is that like Tuesday to Saturday? I said, AA,
Yeah.
dude, chill. All right, man. He's the program director, so I gotta
What the fuck is
He's
he
got a lot on his
doing?
plate. He's got a lot on his plate, man. All right. So,
It's
but
all eaten already. Jesus.
He's getting
Oh
hung
my
up on the
goodness.
technicality, man. Yeah, you can't do that.
well, I'll tell you this, folks. If you've enjoyed all this coverage, obviously you see we have a ton of different personalities, so we all have a lot of fun here. We give you something different. We're Cleveland's digital leader and your source for sports, entertainment, mental health conversations, and everything in between. We are so gracious for you. If you see at the bottom there, the biggest thing you could do if you're enjoying the coverage is like, subscribe, follow Inside Edge Net on all the socials. Tell a friend, tell 10 of them. Tell them to come join the party because we are definitely bringing something different here, and we appreciate you. We couldn't do it without you. We're not going anywhere tonight. We not at least till 1 a.m. We have so much coverage for you. Chad and I are going to be back here with you at Inside Edge Primetime. We might be able to keep Kyle with us. We'll see. We got about a 5-minute break to convince him. So we'll see if we can do that. In the meantime, go check out the website, InsideEdgeNetwork.com. You can go to the QR code. It'll take you to the partners page right there over Kyle's head. Boom. It'll take you there. The sponsors, it's great stuff. Great deals. Take advantage of them all. Thank you, guys. You guys are amazing. InsideEdgeNetwork.com. You can go to the partners page. QR code will take you there. And you can just toggle over to the shop. Get a cool Inside Edge Network polo like Chad has had on Primetime, a mug, a hat, all the great stuff. And then check out, just save the website, okay? Because we got some great stuff coming up with that as well, okay? We're going to do station identification. We're going to have a few words from our sponsors. And when we come back, we're going to talk to the NCAA. How many teams are they trying to get in this tournament? I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't think anybody gets it. We're back with Inside Edge Primetime here in the Inside Edge Network right after this. Don't go anywhere.
The Inside Edge Network is brought to you by Fanatics. Fanatics isn't just our name, it's who we are. Loyal, passionate fans, dedicated to our favorite teams and athletes, to the sports we love. That's why we're honored to be able to offer fans the world's largest collection of official sports apparel and sports jerseys from all the leagues, teams, and players you love. We're talking NFL, Major League Baseball, NBA, National Hockey League, the NCAA. I'm a wrestling guy as well. We got WWE apparel available too. It allows us to serve fans of football, baseball, hockey, basketball, lacrosse, soccer, golf, and everything else that gets your heart pumping. Go to fanatics.com by using the QR code on your screen right now to celebrate your teams. It's right there in the corner of your screen. Get your official gear. Level up with us at fanatics.com.
And welcome back to the Inside Edge Network. From Cavs postgame Game 5 reaction, they win 125-120 over the Toronto Raptors. Though the tune we were singing was not necessarily a sweet one, it is now officially time for Inside Edge Primetime, a very abbreviated version, and we were able to convince him to, I don't know where he's at today, but it's Chad, Bryan, and Kyle Cornell. He's in the middle, there he is. Chad, Bryan, and Kyle Cornell joining us. And I am Eli Moon. If you were with us the first hour, like I said, we talked Cavs. They did defeat the Raptors, but there's a bigger issue with this team. We're not really worried about first-round matchups anymore in Cleveland. We're worried about getting back to a Larry O'Brien trophy, and it seems like we're further and further away from that than we were 3 years ago. I'm having a bad hair day. I'm having a whole lot of things go on. We convinced Kyle Cornell to stay, though. Fellas, we're in hour number 2. How are we feeling? Kyle, we'll start with you.
There you go. Now he's leading. He's hosting. It's great to see. Feel great. We will decide here in the next couple seconds if I can still not hear Chad. So that's going to be fun. But no, just excited for the next, half hour or so programming. And I guess college sports, basketball is doing some more crazy shit. So that's going to be fun.
No, I'm kidding. I would
have been so pissed.
I was mouthing my words. No, I feel similar to the way that I felt about an hour ago when you asked me. Just about an hour ago. Yeah, I feel pretty similar. I don't feel any better. I thought somebody was going to say something in that postgame coverage about the Cavs that was going to make me feel better. Remember, you said 3 years ago. Do you remember 3 games ago when we felt pretty good? They were up 2-0. And the sky was blue, and they were, it was like a Disney movie. There were birds singing, and like the rainbows were everywhere. It was beautiful. And then they went to Toronto, and I don't feel good anymore. So fine.
Yeah. Now I will say this, fellas.
So
I think
defeated.
Kyle.
At the end of that,
Kyle,
so
I think
defeated.
you handed it. Look, pal. I think you handed it off to me because I can't hear you now. Now I cannot hear you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand the baton over to Chad. Chad's going to talk about the NCAA story that is gaining traction here. I'm going to do a little farewell and adieu for now, and then I'm coming back here in a few minutes, and hopefully I can hear you. All right? How's
You know
that
what?
sound? Yeah, I can't hear you. Chad, to you, buddy.
Chad's gonna do it. This is.
Oh, there
I
goes.
think at some point we have to blame AA. Like when all else fails, blame the program director.
That's what I always do, even in things outside of here. Really, since I've met him, when things have gone wrong for me, I've blamed AA.
It's easy to do that.
It's easy to do, and he's not here to defend himself, so it's fine. So I think what's gone wrong is that college sports has moved toward profit, right? I'm fine with NIL. I have no problem with guys getting paid for their name, their image, and their likeness. I have no problem with that at all. But I think it's put some schools in a pickle. I think it's put the NCAA in a little bit of a pickle because remember, they used to make billions of dollars off the backs of these athletes who would do all the work, Kyle, if you remember correctly. So now we've got this beautiful thing. The NCAA tournament was beautiful. It was a field of 64 teams. And then they added the first 4. Okay, fine, whatever. Eight additional teams. They're going to play it out in Dayton. Well, it's fine. I mean, you don't even really have to fill your bracket out right before nobody cares. You wait until after the first 4. That's it. And then you can fill out your bracket, and that's perfectly acceptable. And in pretty much every NCAA poll that you're in. But now the NCAA wants to move the tournament to 76 teams, which would give you 2 locations, probably one east, one west, they say, for logistics. So now the first 4 becomes the first 12. You've got 24 teams playing. Okay. So this is according to ESPN, by the way. The article that I read was from ESPN. This article that I read from ESPN assured me multiple times in many different paragraphs, Kyle, and everyone watching, that this isn't about profit. This is not about money. I'm not kidding you. You can't make this up. Literal paragraphs kept saying, this isn't about profit. Oh, we're going to make some money, but this isn't about money. It's not about the money. Not about the money. It is about the money. I mean, what else is this about? This was a beautiful tournament. The field of 64 was perfect. By adding, okay, we've already added whatever. We've got the final 4. So now we've got 72, 76, 64, 68, 93. I don't know what we're doing anymore.
Are we doing a snap count? What the fuck are we doing?
Absolutely. We're calling audibles at the line. You know what I mean? It's like Dayton, 76. I don't know what we're doing anymore. Listen, this is 100% about money. Don't kid yourself. This is about money. They said that this is going to help offset the cost. It's not about money, but it's going to help offset because they're losing money on the tournament. So what they're going to do now, I guess,
they're losing money on one of the next biggest thing next to the Super Bowl in this country.
Make it make sense. So I guess they're going to charge you more for a second round matchup between like Kansas and Kentucky now. So you can have cheap tickets to go see, I don't know, Rutgers play, Southern Illinois or something in the first 29 or whatever that is going to be now. I don't like this at all. I don't like the addition of the set. You're not giving more teams a legitimate shot to win a national title. If that were what it was about, great. When the playoffs went from, the BCS, where you had 2 teams, right? The football playoffs. And then you went to a 4-team playoff. I said, okay, this is cool. Now we've got 12. I wouldn't mind expanding to 16, although we're getting some blowouts. It's getting a little wonky in the first, right? Like it's getting a little weird in the college football playoffs now. But 16 teams isn't bad. 76 teams. I don't understand. Adding these additional teams, it doesn't give teams a chance. So teams like Ohio State made it as an at-large team. This would be for at-large. You would have more at-large teams playing each other essentially in these now, whatever, I guess you would call them playing games. A team like Ohio State was an at-large bid last, but they lost in the first round. A team like, I don't know, I can't think of any specific examples, but this isn't top-tier teams that we're adding to the tournament. It's not like give me an example of someone who's missed the tournament over the last 15 years that was a bubble team that would have won it had they gotten in this first 76 situation or whatever. I keep making
I don't know, man. Like, there's always every year the teams that just miss it. Oh, that team should have been in, or this team should have been over that team.
Auburn this year, maybe, yeah.
That's going to happen. Yeah, that's going to happen, honestly, every single season, whether you have 16 teams or a million teams in. Well, the million and first team was better than the 998,000. Like, it's always going to be a thing, and there's always going to be a drive to want to get more money. And also, the schools that are in this too, they want more money. Let's be honest. Like the individual schools. Like if I'm, the first four out this past year, I'm looking at it like, well, shit, we would have been in. We would have made a little bit extra money to have to fly to here or there, or whatever it is, and gotten that tournament check. I mean, they're looking at that like, okay, this is.
But it's not about the money.
It's not. Oh, but it's not. No, of course not. No, it's
multiple times. It's not about the money.
It can be a little bit about getting more teams the exposure and a chance if you're going to give those mid-major teams and some of those teams that maybe don't have a shot. But if it's like, oh, Kentucky had an off year, they went 19-16, but now or whatever, now we're going to throw them in, because now they're going to be the 74th team or whatever it is. That's a little different. It's like, okay, does Kentucky really need more of a fucking spotlight? But if UC Santa Barbara goes 28-2 and they just miss out on winning the conference championship, I don't mind that team getting one of those first now 8 or 12 or whatever it is in, because maybe they wouldn't have had a chance to get into the normal tournament if they wouldn't have had that little bit of expansion. There has to be rules inside of the rules here. A team like Miami of Ohio, a team that could have possibly missed the tournament this year because they had one bad fucking game in the MAC tournament.
Yeah.
And even then they only lost by I think 2 or 4 points or whatever. It wasn't like this huge blowout. They just got beat by a team that was also pretty solid. It's like, well, so a team that goes 29-1 is not going to make it because of some bullshit. Like that's the kind of team that you're doing this for. You would hope in the long run, but obviously, yes, it's a money grab. It's more games. More games equals more money to be able to be profitable from the NCAA. It's common sense. To write something different is kind of a slap in the face to just the average person who can read, write, that kind of shit. Like it's kind of right in front of you, like right there. It's like more games equals more money. That's why they've expended the MLB playoffs. That's why they've done all this stuff. They talk about having 18 regular season games in the NFL now and all that stuff. Like that's why they're going overseas and adding games. Like it's what they do. That it's more money. It's a business. And I was very critical of NIL because I was a college athlete at one point. I didn't get jack shit. Like I was told, if you want to come back, you have to basically pay another 30 grand, and then maybe you get a partial scholarship. I was more of a every student athlete should get a scholarship, and that's your NIL. That way you go to college for free, you get to experience that, and then maybe you get a little bit of stipend money to be able to go out and buy food, whatever it is, that kind of stuff. But these multi-million dollar deals, these kids are rolling up and fucking armored out like HV2s or whatever it is, or some crazy shit. I got fucking nowadays Johnny Manziel would show up to A&M fucking driving a tank. Like he would just be like, fuck it, I got tank money, motherfucker, and he'd show up driving that shit into Kyle Field. Like it's just, you would get that, and you get that nowadays. These guys, oh, I'm staying in college, like Dante Moore, who's saying he wants to stay in college because he obviously, I need more time to develop. You were going to be the number 2 overall pick, you smart ass. No, you weren't. You were a good game away against Mendoza from being the number 1 overall pick, possibly. But you're going to go back to college because they're going to pay you $8 million over the next year, and you don't want to play for the Jets. Like, I mean, let's just be honest with ourselves here and all this bullshit. Like, it's a very different landscape, and it's all about the money. It's all about it.
All about it. Yeah. And like I said, the NCAA has made billions of dollars off these kids' backs for I don't know how many years. I was also a college athlete. I actually had to quit a job in the student union at the school I was currently at. Well, not currently at the time, obviously, but I was told I had to quit a job because they were concerned that a booster could come in and grease my palms, right? Like come in and eat some chicken tenders and give me $1,000 tip every week. I mean, that's, I guess at a larger school with, more serious athlete, that's a thing that happens. But I'm like, I'm at a Division III school. Like, I don't think that's going to happen here, but whatever. They got to cover their bases, right? You got to make sure that nothing happens, nothing goes wrong.
Well, hey, I tell you what, if you got $100 tip at one point, Mark Emmert would have came to your house with a shotgun and threatened you to give half of it back, or you'd be dead.
I would have voted 120 at that point. Yeah, it's interesting. It's like
I would have paid him more.
Yeah, it's very mob-like, but I don't know. I saw this story and I thought nothing good can come of this. And I read the article. I'm like, let's see if they even mentioned profit in the article. And it was funny to me how many times, like I said, the article was from ESPN, ESPN.com. And it was just funny to me how many times they specifically mentioned, hey, this isn't about profit. Hey. Remember, reader, this isn't about money. This is more basketball for you to watch on True TV. Okay. At least it used to be called Court TV. It would have made sense then. Like, whatever. I don't know, Kyle.
Can't wait to watch Pepperdine versus fucking Santa Barbara.
Cal, East Tech.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Versus Gardner Southern Southwest. Yeah, it's going to be great.
Commuters only school, whatever. I don't know. I'm not really sure. Is that enough words? I think that's enough words to get our point.
There has to be at least 15 syllables in the school for you to be able to make the first 4 now, so or the first 14 or whatever it is. So yeah, if you don't,
Yeah.
too
And by the way,
bad.
to get back to NIL quickly, just because we don't really talk about much NIL stuff really on the network, I haven't really gotten into this discussion. But I wanted to bring that up. You brought up NIL, and you said that you were kind of against it. I think NIL was meant to. I don't know if you remember the story of Khalid El-Amin when he was the point guard at UConn. He had mentioned that he was literally walking around campus looking for food in trash cans. He was that, it was that bad. He's the starting point guard at UConn, right? Like, I mean, it was about as big as it got at the time. And here you have your starting point guard at one of the premier schools in the nation, so broke on campus, making so much money for UConn and so much money for the NCAA and whoever else is involved in making money off these kids' backs. And he's eating food out of trash cans on campus. I mean, I think that was the spirit of what NIL was supposed to be. I don't think it was ever supposed to be used as a recruiting tool.
That's what it's turned into because it's the Wild West, and I think that's why the NCAA has been trying to figure out.
It's got to be
President Trump getting involved in this stuff now too, trying to like give them like directive and stuff because it's honestly it's insane. And Chad, you're right. Like I had a plan that I had written out for every student athlete, regardless of sport.
Yeah.
Where it's like if you're going to play a Division 1 or 2 or whatever it is, mainly Division 1, but like if you're going to play at this level in your field, like you should be able to go to college for free.
Yeah.
And you should be able to get a food stipend or get like a monthly, weekly, whatever it is, allowance to be able to afford food and to be able to have some sort of social life or to save or whatever it is. Like you have a job because we're making enough money to pay for your school.
Mm-hmm.
So no one's going to owe any money. Your parents aren't taking out loans, none of that shit.
Yeah.
And then you should be able to either save the money we give you as a stipend, use some for food, whatever it is, and whatnot. You obviously, probably depending on the sport, is how much you would get for that.
Yeah.
Because football brings in a lot more than swimming or whatever it is.
Yeah.
We're not dumb. We understand that. But every athlete should be able to go to school for free because they should still be able to afford that.
Yeah.
The schools would. And they still make a bunch of money off of these guys and girls. Like, I mean, it's right there. I think when you throw the millions at these kids and stuff, and it happens early on, and some of these kids are making all this money that won't have pro careers and stuff too. So I understand, building that nest egg now because you may not have a future when it's all said and done. But you kind of lose the essence of what college sports were. It was a higher level of team sports before you went pro, and a lot of these times you were still considered amateur.
Yeah.
Like it's an amateur sport still. You're not a professional yet. And now they've paid these kids and some of these young adults to the point where, you know what? This is a pro sport now. You're making more than, a good chunk of the NFL and in college football. If you're a quarterback or a receiver or one of those, skill position type players, Dante Moore is making more than half the quarterbacks in the NFL that are on, rookie deals or whatever it is, or, making more than a third round pick, whatever that got drafted. Like he's making more. Like it blows my mind to an extent. I get both sides of the argument. I understand, we need to make sure that these kids, these young adults can function and they can have, the ability to eat. Like that's obviously super important. But then what's the line?
Yeah.
Who gets what? How much are they getting? All this stuff. Because now you could still have Dante Moore making $8 million, but what is the 56 guy on the roster making? Does he have like one local car dealership? Maybe
that's all me to wrap it up behind the scenes. But yeah, I think really quickly, I think it needs to be regulated. I think it should be maybe tiered based on your whatever year you are, and I think maybe it should be like almost handled like a trust fund, right? Like you have access to so much money as you get into each age of your college. I don't think you should give a freshman in college $13 million. Eli, I don't know. Are we going to go to break? Is that what you're telling me back in the back there? Okay, I think we're going to go to break. So give us just a few minutes. We'll be back on the Inside Edge Network here with Cavs / Primetime / Midnight Run. We're doing it all tonight. We are a Swiss Army knife of shows for you tonight on the Inside Edge Network. So give us just a few minutes. We'll be right back.
Hey, I got something to show you guys. Take a look. It is spring. Happy spring to all of you. Take a look at what we have here for you from AlleyRoseFragrances.com. Beautiful spring scent candles here for you. Hand poured with premium fragrance and essential oils. How about this? Our coconut soy wax candles bring fresh, uplifting spring scents to your home. Made with clean, natural ingredients, they're a mindful choice for sensitive spaces and those who love effortless seasonal fragrances. You got to check it out right now. There's the soft bloom and the lemon bar candles, all healthy ingredients, all from AlleyRoseFragrances.com. And if you're a first-time customer, use the promo code InsideEdge20. That's InsideEdge20. Get this for yourself, for your friends, family, everyone. You want a good smelling home, AlleyRoseFragrances.com will make it happen. Again, AlleyRoseFragrances.com. Get the new spring candles. And when you order, if you're a first-time customer, InsideEdge20 is the promo code.
Whether you're searching for a baseball autographed by your favorite World Series slugger, a signed football by an iconic Hall of Famer, or the jersey of a world-famous soccer star, you've come to the right place. Here at sportsmemorabilia.com, the web's leading source of authentic sports memorabilia, you'll find more than 500,000 authentic products from nearly every professional sports league, team, and player. Not only will you find your next prized sports possession with ease thanks to superb customer service and tremendous site experience, but you'll have the satisfaction and peace of mind that every product listed comes complete with a certificate of authenticity and is fully backed by the sportsmemorabilia.com lifetime authenticity guarantee.
All right, you can't get rid of me that fast. We're back here on the Inside Edge Network. Kyle Cornell, over there on the far right to your left, you'll see him in a moment. Chad Bryan, I think he's in the middle. I may have botched this. I haven't been here for a segment. This could be a complete mess, fellas. This is Inside Edge Primetime. I'm in the middle. Hello, here I am. I'm Eli
This is what Stephen A. Smith feels like every day.
Dude, we have had ghosts, I think, visit the studio. I couldn't hear Kyle. Kyle couldn't hear me. We could all hear you. You could hear us. I don't know. We had dogs and cats on the team. Yeah.
Bueller?
All right. We are back. I'm back. Hello. Hi. We are here on Inside Edge Primetime.
What's happening, my nappy-haired friend?
Dude, I'm not going to lie to you. On a quick side, I have two quick side notes, and then we'll get to way back Wednesday. One, I am so close to cutting the hair. I will say that.
Oh,
good.
Like
do it.
Super. All right, dude.
I'll do it for you.
Okay,
Right
dude,
now.
easy. All right, gee, I didn't think
I'll
it'd
come
be that
over
easy.
right now.
Okay,
I'll wake my
easy.
son up, and I will drive to your house.
Damn. All right.
We will donate
that's my first note. I thought it would get a little kickback, but all right. Second note is, second note is, I went to an establishment that serves chicken sandwiches today, Chad.
Yeah. I can't help but feel like that's my fault.
The list is long, though. Let's be honest. There's a lot of people that serve chicken sandwiches. Whether they're good or not is up for Chad. But
Now the spot I went to serves
Feels like
chicken
McDonald's.
sandwiches. It made Chad's top 5 list.
oh,
That would be Wendy's.
Hey.
And after he made Double A's chicken sandwich list, you'll see him in just about, I'd say about 10, 15 minutes or so, folks. Don't worry.
I'd say we can wait.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely. It made both their lists. But I went to Wendy's today. Papa Moon and I pulled up. He wanted a baked potato, or potato as he calls it. And he wanted to get that, and he did his thing. And then I said, I was just looking at this menu. I was like, you know what? Look at the chicken sandwich.
Look at it.
Look at all the stuff I probably don't get on it. The mayonnaise.
Would you
the
just
tomato.
look at it?
Just look at it. And you know what I opted to do, Chad?
Look at it.
Get another baked potato.
I got the Baconator. I got the Baconator.
Salad, it's fine.
I got the Baconator.
Fuck you and your list.
So next
A lot of
week,
people said that last night, I think, actually.
I'm declaring right now here on the network that next week's Tuesday Top 5 is Top 5 Eli Moon burgers that I've tried.
Oh, God.
And we'll see what my list looks
McDonald's, Burger King, McDonald's, and Popeyes.
like. Brother, my
Last
palate
5 burgers, yeah.
my palate has increased. Not much in the 10, 11 years you know me, but a little bit. I don't just eat 10-piece chicken nugget meals.
Yeah,
anymore,
now you
all right?
dip your chicken tenders in ketchup. Look at you.
Now he eats 20-piece chicken nugget meals. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I feel bad because I'll get like 15 nuggets in, and I'm like, oh, dude, am I gonna finish the
No,
last 5?
yeah, he'll eat like 12 and be like, why have 8 left? Now what?
Damn. All right, without me embarrassing myself any further, Chad, you went way back on this Wednesday, as you typically do. We trust you to go way back into the time machine. Kyle, I know you haven't been part of a Way Back Wednesday, but this is where we observe what Chad has found, and we give our thoughts, and we kind of just see what happened on this date. It may not have been a Wednesday,
Yeah.
but it did happen on this date. So we're going way back. Wednesday, Chad, over to you.
And we are officially at the point where it's not even going to be on this date anymore. So, hey, that's fine. And reminder, I use a website called onthisday.com, which is now onthatday.com, because we're about to switch over to midnight. It's going to be yesterday's date, but that's fine. So on this date, you guys, in 1934, Pittsburgh, we talked about a chicken sandwich place not last night. It was last night. I almost said last year. Last night, that was, it hasn't been that long. That is closed on Sundays. Listen, the Pirates used to be closed on Sundays, but they played their first home game on a Sunday in 1934. On this very date, they played the Cincinnati Reds.
Last day that Pittsburgh finally decided to stop recognizing Jesus and taking a break on Sundays. Shame on them.
I know, right? And they haven't won since. No,
Dang. Wow.
Might as well.
hasn't been that long.
Dude, Chad.
Yes.
Dude, here's the thing about the Pirates. Here's the thing. This is crazy work.
Just one thing. All right.
Well, just one
Here's the thing.
Wow.
They exist.
What is their exact record? We're gonna have to look this up for tomorrow's show. We don't have enough time tonight. What is their record on Sundays? Because if you ask Anthony Alford, he is a big proponent about nobody playing on Sundays anymore. The Cavs suck on Sundays. The Guardians suck on Sundays. I guess my performance may be low on Sundays. I mean, everybody's performance is low.
Didn't the Cavs win the championship on Father's Day, which is a Sunday?
Don't ask Double A. If it happened 10 years ago, it doesn't matter, I guess.
I guess not. God, get your shit together, Double A. You got a show in a minute.
I feel
Chad,
like coming in.
Chad, do you have any more thoughts on these Pirates?
No, none at all.
Okay.
They have a beautiful stadium. They have the most beautiful, probably one of the most beautiful setups in Major League Baseball. They should add they should add a team. Anyway, on this date, you guys, back in 1967, Aretha Franklin releases her single "Respect," which was written by Otis Redding. It was the Billboard Song of the Year in 1967, released on that very date, which was April 29th, which was yesterday technically, because it's way back Wednesday. It's gotten really wonky here, but
way back that day.
Way back that day. How about that? Respect,
I love this.
If I spell
love this.
Eli's like, respect? What does that word mean?
Oh, you guys are so mean to me. Look, dude, phone's gonna be on D&D tomorrow. I swear on everything. Listen, I can't do that. But
What you do in your free time is none of my business.
Who gets free time anymore? All right, 1967. That was a great year for Papa Moon because he was born that year.
All right.
In 1967. He wouldn't be ashamed for me to say he's 58. He's 58 years
Finally,
young.
a Moon that we respect.
Oh my golly. And here's the thing about respect and Aretha Franklin.
lunacy on this show.
Papa Moon, Kyle hit the nail on the head. He commands respect.
Sounds violent.
I'm trying to. I don't know if we've got there yet, on this show at least, but we're working on it. Aretha Franklin, though, a legend, an absolute legend. Otis Redding, a legend. I mean, sitting on the dock of the bay. I mean, some legends. Oh my goodness.
I had to include it. Yeah, I had.
Or as Weary Al would call her, Urethra Franklin.
There you go. And that's probably how I learned to spell respect when I was a kid. So shout out to Aretha Franklin and Otis Redding for writing the spelling into it too. I appreciate that.
I can't read.
There you go. Well, you know how to spell one word, and that's all right. Well, I'm not going to spell it again. I might get a copyright strike.
Don't give me a hint. I don't want to.
I don't get in trouble. Okay, well, let's move on. On this day, way back Wednesday, wasn't a Wednesday, in 1986, Auburn running back Bo Jackson was the first pick in the NFL draft by none other than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I know you're looking at me like, wait, what? Tampa Bay, but it's true. So real quick, and I'll paraphrase what happened. Essentially, the Buccaneers owner, who was an Alabama alum, I didn't do this. Hugh Culverhouse took him on a private jet to visit with the team, right? Get physical, whatever. They were going to draft him, but it was during his baseball season. Now, this was not cleared by the NCAA and the SEC, although they told Bo Jackson it was at the time. So they put the rest of his baseball career, his college baseball career, in jeopardy. Made him mad, pissed him off. He said, listen, you can draft me if you want, but you're going to waste a draft pick. I can promise you that. I'm not ever signing with Tampa Bay. And he sure didn't. And, the rest is history. He played baseball for a little while. I ended up in the NFL. Unfortunately, injured his hip and probably, changed the course of his whole career. But Bo Jackson was, man, one of a kind. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I don't have too much history with the Tecmo Bowl or anything like that, but legend has it that he is just absolutely – he's a legend in that game.
And Marcus Allen and Jay Schrader and Tim Brown, nasty on Tecmo Bowl. I mean, that was my wheelhouse, man. Absolutely.
Our generation is Mike Vick and Madden 04.
Yeah.
You have him, you're going to win every game.
My generation, Otto Graham, and no, I'm not that old.
Oh,
my goodness.
Yeah, throwback. Back when Chad was a wee lad.
Sorry, Papa Moose. All right. On this day, way back in, also 1986. So the same day all this was going on, Boston Red Sox, Roger Clemens, is he booing me? I think he's booing me. Struck out.
I'm booing the Red Sox.
No, you're booing me. You can tell me. It's okay.
No, I like you, Chad. I don't like
Mariners. In a game, he gave up just 3 hits, and one of them actually was a solo home run. Gorman Thomas hit a solo home run in the 7th inning of that game.
Dumbass.
Yeah, right. Shortstop Spike Owen and second baseman Danny Tartable added a couple of singles, but Roger Clemens was on fire, struck out 20, and that was on this day back in 1986. And just one more. You don't have to comment. I think I know how you feel about Roger Clemens there, Kyle.
Look at that ugly ass jersey he had on. That was
terrible.
Jack, can you go back? Can you go back there one more time, real quick? If you don't.
No, don't tell me what to do. This is my segment. What do you need?
Yuck.
Because I don't know if you understand the severity of what you just did here.
Oh, I did. I do. I understand it.
Kyle does not like the Red Sox.
Well,
nobody likes Boston. If anyone's honest with themselves, Boston is the worst fucking town in the entire world. Like, it's so shit. It's so bad. The fans are just fucking awful. It's past midnight. The filters come off, just like the show next week. Fuck Boston.
Like what Kyle Cornell, ladies and gentlemen. That's Kyle Cornell.
I'll put it on the damn bio and the intro and the fucking bottom thing. It's prime time, biatch. Yeah, and Boston sucks my left nut. Seriously.
There you go. Can't be that bad then.
Fuck you,
Chad,
Roger.
my bad. Go back to the other. My bad, Chad.
On this day in 2018, The Simpsons makes TV history. They surpassed the 635 episode count of all shows Gunsmoke, which was the highest number of any episode of any series that was ever on TV. The Simpsons are currently, where are they at right now? I think they are currently at episode number 805, or it would be 806.
We're not counting Raw or SmackDown in there, I guess, but yeah, that's fine.
Do you want to do Way Back Wednesday, Kyle?
No, I don't. No, because it's Thursday.
That's all I got for you guys. That's it. That's my they're, by the way, they're renewed through 40 seasons now. The Simpsons are. So that is your Way Back Wednesday, and that's how we feel. Well, not how we. That's how Kyle Cornell feels.
Yeah.
No, and I misread that too, Chad. That's my fault. It said animated series. It didn't say.
Well,
overall.
maybe read the.
There are some guys that are pretty animated.
I told you I couldn't read.
Well, the key thing here on this show, what we teach on Primetime, Kyle, maybe you can learn something from us here before we get into final thoughts, is you want to read what the thing says before you react. That's key thing here.
Oh, I'm going to send you my merch idea later. And Eli, you can emphatically eat a dick after saying that to me.
Key
Eli Moon is Boston for all intents and purposes right now to Kyle, I think.
Dude, if you bought me a plane ticket to Boston, I'd burn it right in front of you. That's how much I hate that city. Like, there's no, I don't care how fresh the air smells. I don't care what happened in the harbor. I don't give a fuck. Like, it's.
There you go.
All right.
And Cleveland fans, y'all should hate Boston too, because they're the reason why the Indians didn't have a World Series in 07 and why your fucking Cavs don't have multiple World Championships too. So
they definitely would have beat the Rockets that year, or the Rockies that year.
Just saying.
All right, let's get to some final thoughts. Who would like to go first?
I've said enough. You guys go.
Go ahead, Chad.
Well, my final thoughts are solely and specifically about the city of Boston. No, they're not about that. Listen, I was going to tell you to be patient with the Cavs depending on how they look tonight. Listen, you can panic. It's fine. They might not get out of this series, They're definitely not getting out of the second round. So you do whatever you want when you watch the Cavs. I've tried to tell you to be patient. I don't even believe myself anymore. They have no heart. They have one player with a motor. It's Dennis Schroeder. That's it. I don't know what's going to happen in Game 6, but it's possibly going to be ugly. It's up in Toronto. They're the North.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, not much to add on that,
It's tough for us, yeah.
Stuck
Not
the
much
life
to
out
add
of
on that.
Chad. Just in like 2 sentences, he just all of a sudden just went downhill so fast.
Yeah, not much else to add on that. I'd say if you were wondering on who the Browns quarterback would be, I'm not sure, but Anthony Alford may know. And that's our plug to remind you that on this same stream, in just about 20 seconds or so, we will have Anthony Alford on, Midnight Run with Anthony Alford, going over the Cleveland Browns situation and some news out of there today, and a whole lot more else, some Cavs-Raptors reaction, and, well, he's on Hinge, so I don't know what to expect. But
there might be more coverage of chicken sandwiches tonight. We don't know.
Very well could be. Very well could be. But again, thank you to Kyle Cornell for joining us. Thank you to all of everybody out there for joining us here for Cavs Postgame, Inside Edge Primetime. Again, that's Kyle Cornell. That's Chad Bryan. You'll see us again here tomorrow, Chad and I, Thursday, 10 to 11 p.m. here on the Inside Edge Network. Going to pause for just a moment for station identification, and then you'll know the music. It's time, just in a moment, for Midnight Run with Anthony Alford. Thank you to all you out there watching, and we're back with Anthony Alford just in a moment.
Primetime, yeah.
This is Midnight Run on the Inside Edge Network. Here's your host, Anthony Alford.
And welcome to the show. Welcome to Midnight Run. It is great to be here. We got a lot of things to discuss here tonight. We're going to react, of course, in just a few moments to Cavs and Raptors. They win Game 5. Finally, they get the W in the series. It was ugly in the first half, but they figured it out. And then also Deshaun Watson. It sounds like, according to Mary Kay, Deshaun Watson has the inside edge for that QB1 job. So we'll talk about Deshaun coming up in about 20 minutes. I'm almost feel compelled after the last couple of minutes to offer my thoughts about how crappy of a town Boston is, but I think it was already said by Kyle. So we're good there. Let me start with this, with the Cavaliers. We got some sound we'll play for you in just a little bit as well from Kenny Atkinson. Let me start with this. A lot of what happened today, I mean, today's been not that great of a day, right? First off, gas is worth $5 a gallon now. Number two, the first half and a good chunk of the third quarter of the Cavs Raptors played out exactly the same as games 3 and 4. You know, lack of defensive effort, nobody creating shots. What's going on with Donovan Mitchell and all that stuff. I thought Kyle made a great point during the postgame show. James Harden is a phenomenal asset, but and he hasn't had to do this aspect of his game much since he's been here in Cleveland. But I thought Kyle's point was spot on. If he has the ball, if he is the number one option on offense, that means the ball ain't moving for the first 20 seconds of the 24-second shot clock, and the offense becomes stagnant. So I say all of that to say this, and I feel like I'm in bizarro world because usually I'm the doom and gloom guy on this network. I'm usually the guy that comes down and is like, what is going on? And I wholeheartedly agree with everything that Eli and Chad and Kyle mentioned during the postgame show. I'm just here to add on. I saw some things in that fourth quarter that greatly encouraged me. Number one, it's the playoffs. This night would have been a lot worse if they would have lost. This night would have been a lot worse if the Cavaliers weren't able to hold on to that lead, to get the lead in the first place and hold on. Number two, we got to remember something. We got to remember this. I know it's in our right minds. We want to win things fair and square. We have to win things the correct way. And it is our job to pinpoint, and we do, and we will. Absolutely, we will pinpoint things that went wrong. One W does not take away the things that have gone wrong. I'm here for that. But I will add on, in the playoffs, it's okay to win by luck as well. It's okay. Brandon Ingram, we don't know what his health status is going to be. He had an injury with his heel. Apparently, he initially sustained the injury back a month ago, like in late March. And he re-injured it today. Same deal. So you have that. Toronto's been kind of skating by with guys just dropping left and right. Hey, listen. In the playoffs, it's okay to win in a weird way, win by luck. It's okay. It's okay for once for us to catch all the breaks. Damn it, we're Cleveland. Let us catch all the breaks for once. I mean, our football team, we would love that. Probably have a championship by then at that point. But I thought a couple actual basketball things happened. First off, Dennis Schroeder. This was a coming out party for him. 11 points, or 19 points overall, but 11 points in the fourth quarter. We actually heard Donovan Mitchell say, because Kenny Atkinson wanted to call Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley, bring them back in during that fourth quarter. And Donovan Mitchell, I guess kudos to him, said, no, these guys are balling right now. And Dennis Schroeder, he was balling. And you need somebody who's not afraid to just take shots and just connect. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for guys to just connect on shooting. And like, there was a point in the game that I felt like, our only clutch performer at this stage is Sam Merrill. But finally, Dennis Schroeder came through. I thought Evan Mobley, I got to give him his props. For whatever reason, he sucks on the road in the playoffs. But at home, he handles business. Defensively, he has some critical stops. But how about going 3 for 3 in the fourth quarter? All series long, and usually early in the fourth quarter. I know some of the games became blowouts, but early in the fourth quarter, it's tight, and you're looking for a separator. You're looking for that score to open up a little bit. And it finally happened. Thank you to Evan Mobley going 3 for 3 for downtown, opening the floor, opening up the defense. Again, a Raptors defense that was worn down. That was good. And then the other thing that really stood out to me, I know James Harden had a ton of turnovers. I know this. And it's inexcusable, and it will cost you games. But to be able to rely on, Harden's going to get you guaranteed points every game, every playoff game, essentially. Well, yeah, 23 points today. And he stood up to Scotty Barnes. The tip-off situation, coming off of the foul. James Harden getting a little chippy in front of the Raptors bench as well. It's like, no, we are not getting punked. I was waiting for somebody to stand up and say, we are not getting punked in these playoffs. You got to start somewhere. It starts at home, and it starts with a veteran like James Harden. It starts with a veteran like Dennis Schroeder saying, hey, we got to step. We're Cavs basketball. There are things that we have done in the regular season that has worked. We got to show Toronto we aren't punks. You are not going to make us look like bitches. We're going to finally step up, man up, and punch you back in the mouth. And again, I know it was ugly. Yes, it was. Definitely it was. And if Toronto had a better shooting night in game 6, then we're going to be stressing over the weekend heading into game 7. But for tonight, I'm just very happy that they came through with the W. I think this challenge was huge. Eli, if we can, let's play. I added this in during the last segment. Let's play Kenny 04. Kenny 04 talked about, Kenny Atkinson talked about getting over that mental barrier, at least of this game. Take a listen.
Yeah, especially this group that's we're trying to get over a hump. We're trying to get to the next level. So, that's a real mental challenge to me, right? Like, especially in a game 5, 2-2. These are high pressure moments. You're down. You could feel the crowd getting nervous. I think we took a step tonight. Whatever happens in this series and all that, and next series, whatever, tonight was a test, and we kind of passed that mental toughness test tonight. Now the big one is like, can you go and beat this team on the road, right? Like can we go in there and go take this? Because we haven't shown we can yet.
And that's going to be the next test. That's the next test. And I like the way the schedule plays out now. You only get one day off, and then you're on the road. Like, okay, you got good vibes. You won ugly. Like, let's be mindful too. Sunday night or Sunday afternoon. Sundays are garbage. That's a whole other thing, and they kind of hit a. Game 4, Cavs could have won that game. In fact, they were leading with 2 minutes left. The frustrating part was that they blew that lead. But again, look back at the tape, and you say, hey, you would have held on to game 4 late, ugly. You would have came here at game 5 and closed things out. The series would have been over. So it's little things like that you kind of have to take away. Let's real quick before we go to break, Eli, let's play Dennis Schroeder. So Kenny 01 about Dennis Schroeder, his performance.
I was just thinking about it when we were talking about trading for him. That was one of the things that came up. Like, this guy's played in huge games in the NBA and then on the international scene. So this type of game fits him. But I think it started with him getting to the rim, and then that loosened up the jumper for him. And then I thought his defense on Barrett really got under him, harassed him. He was, as he likes to call him, Dennis the Menace tonight,
I heard that was some show in the 80s. I see. I think, what was it, Boomerang or Cartoon Network had that show on. It's either that or Teenage Ninja Turtles. You had that. No, you need a Dennis. You do need Dennis. Now, one thing I do want to point out, back to Donovan Mitchell for a hot second. We still saw a few of those bad turnovers across the board, not just Mitchell, but everybody across the board. Toronto is attacking the passing lanes. You're seeing a ton of hands in the passing lanes. They're attacking those. So what they're trying to take advantage of, and this is why the ball has to move around, and this might be a reason why Donovan Mitchell has been a little bit inefficient on these last few games. Remember what I said yesterday or 2 days ago? Size matters. A shorter Donovan Mitchell, he can't see. He's being doubled almost every possession. He can't see the different passing lanes and whether or not they're being clogged up. Now, he did a better job, and his teammates did a better job coming to the basketball, moving around. So if you're going to double him, get open. Your teammates got to get open, and communication is key. But That is concerning. He's a short guy, only 6'1". That's a little bit concerning. So again, not a ton of positive takeaways from the Cavaliers, but they won the game. And it's a 3-2 series lead against the Toronto Raptors with an opportunity to close the series out on Friday. Remember, David Ruiz and Autumn Chisholm from Mike Check Take 2 will have Friday night post-game coverage following Cavs-Raptors Game 6. Hopefully, they'll be recapping a Cavaliers series victory. And then we await the winner of the Orlando-Detroit series. Detroit hanging on and getting their W. I think Cade Cunningham had 45 points. Nuts. All right. Go to InsideEdgeNetwork.com. InsideEdgeNetwork.com. All of our show information, all of our personality profiles and stuff. It's all there. You can check out our partners. Also, the QR code at the corner of the screen. Our partners are there as well. And then we have a merch store. And you know, payday has arrived, so I will be buying some merch from the Inside Edge Network, but you should as well. Polos, T-shirts, bottles, a ton of jackets. We got it all. Inside Edge Network merch. Support us. Again, this is a completely grassroots organization. Cleveland's digital leader, Inside Edge Network, is InsideEdgeNetwork.com. All right. Coming up next, we got to talk about the football team because Mary Kay Cabot dropped some bombshell news about this particular player. We could say, you know the story already. Deshaun Watson is on track to be the QB1, to be the starting quarterback of the Cleveland Browns. I will ask you, though, number one, is that the right call? And number two, if he is going to be the starting quarterback, should you just name him the starting quarterback right now? We'll talk about that next. Anthony Alford, this is Midnight Run, here with you until 1, right here on the Inside Edge Podcasting Network. Back after this. Hey, I got something to show you guys. Take a look. It is spring. Happy spring to all of you. Take a look at what we have here for you from AlleyRoseFragrances.com. Beautiful spring scent candles here for you. Hand poured with premium fragrance and essential oils. How about this? Our coconut soy wax candles bring fresh, uplifting spring scents to your home. Made with clean, natural ingredients, they're a mindful choice for sensitive spaces and those who love effortless seasonal fragrances. You got to check it out right now. There's the soft bloom and the lemon bar candles, all healthy ingredients, all from AlleyRoseFragrances.com. And if you're a first-time customer, use the promo code InsideEdge20. That's InsideEdge20. Get this for yourself, for your friends, family, everyone. You want a good smelling home, AlleyRoseFragrances.com will make it happen. Again, AlleyRoseFragrances.com. Get the new spring candles. And when you order, if you're a first-time customer, InsideEdge20 is the promo code.
Whether you're searching for a baseball autographed by your favorite World Series slugger, a signed football by an iconic Hall of Famer, or the jersey of a world-famous soccer star, you've come to the right place. Here at sportsmemorabilia.com, the web's leading source of authentic sports memorabilia, you'll find more than 500,000 authentic products from nearly every professional sports league, team, and player. Not only will you find your next prized sports possession with ease thanks to superb customer service and tremendous site experience, but you'll have the satisfaction and peace of mind that every product listed comes complete with a certificate of authenticity and is fully backed by the sportsmemorabilia.com lifetime authenticity guarantee.
This is Midnight Run on the Inside Edge Network. Here's your host, Anthony Alford.
All right, we can't run from this topic anymore. We can't run from it. It's time to address this thing head on. First, before we do that, Omega Video Marketing, one of our newest sponsors, a longtime sponsor of the Side Hustle Wrestling Podcast, Omega Video Marketing, of course, ran and organized by Emmy Award-winning producer Megan Gallagher, who does an unbelievable job working in the city of Cleveland, of course. If you're a business owner, content creator, you want to get the word out of your event, more reach, things like that, check out Omega Video Marketing. And again, Megan does a great job, 4-time Emmy Award winner. Check her out, MeganRG440 at gmail.com, MeganRG440 at gmail.com. That's Omega Video Marketing. Okay. Deshaun Watson starting week 1 in the story. He's going to start week 1. It's time to – now, if you've been watching our show this entire offseason, I've told you that. I've been on this. Like, I'm telling you, this for the reasons of, you could say, and it's correct, okay, he's old, the $250 million, the contract, you got to figure out if he's the guy. And yes, that is a legitimate reason. But the other thing, Deshaun Watson excels at practice. He excels. He looks great in practice. My issue with Deshaun, strictly on the football side of things, he hasn't completed really a full season of full speed football, a full season or close to it, in 6 years. The problem is you really can't break that down in practice during minicamp or voluntary minicamp. Little sidebar, we're not going to talk about this today, but Jerry Jeudy missed voluntary minicamp. Voluntary minicamp, and the Browns drafted 2 receivers, and his ass was at practice this past Monday. Anywho, boy, you gotta love it. Eli, I just put in new sound. It's from Mary Kay. She was on 92.3 The Fan earlier today. It's Mary Kay 01. She was on 92.3 The Fan earlier today on Baskin and Phelps. And she was the one who wrote, it's like, hey, Deshaun Watson has looked good in practice, has the inside track, the inside edge to be the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. Here's what she had to say earlier today on 92.3 The Fan.
They are making this decision based on performance alone. They're not making this decision based on quarterback development, and they're not making it based on what they need in next year's draft. They're looking out there, and they're making their decision based on who is going to give them the best chance to win games this season. And what they are seeing right now in practice, and what I actually saw on the first day of voluntary minicamp that was open to the media, was I saw what looked to me like a quality starting quarterback out there in Deshaun Watson, someone who had done the job before, understands it, operated efficiently. He was, and I wrote that day, that I wrote that he won day one. And then he came back on the days that were closed to us, and he had ended up earning the starting reps. And he was going first based on what they had seen. And so what I've been hearing is that he emerged from that voluntary minicamp ahead of Shedeur Sanders. And at this point right now, he has the inside track to win the starting job. And I just tweeted after that, after I wrote that breaking news, after that, I just said, if that's going to be the case, then you might as well just go and declare him that sooner than later, as soon as possible, because they've got to get this first team offense working together. They cannot wait until the end of training camp to let those guys cook and get all their work together. It's got to start happening now if they want to look like a functional offense in 2026.
And again, that was Mary Kay, who broke the story courtesy of 92.3 The Fan here locally in Cleveland. The second part of the statement of whoever the quarterback is going to be, you got to name him the starter. That I wholeheartedly agree with. I agree with that part. I think if you guys remember last year, the whole 4 quarterback QB battle during training camp, it's extremely hard to build chemistry with a young offense when you're experimenting with 4 different quarterbacks. So one thing that Mary Kay mentioned in her Cleveland.com article, she said that Coach Todd Monken hopes to declare or at least identify his starter by the end of Browns minicamp. So we're eyeing June 9th through June 11th. So Shedeur will have about 6 weeks to close the gap and try to overtake Deshaun Watson. So that part I agree with. I think you do need to identify who the quarterback is because you have a ton of young talent on that offense. Jerry Jeudy may or may not be on the team. I'm kidding. But you basically have a brand new offensive line, brand new top receivers. Harold Finn in his second year coming in. Krishan Jenkins, you got in the backfield. You basically have a brand new offense. So you do need to identify somebody in that backfield, in that quarterback position, and roll with it. My disappointment a little bit is with Shedeur Sanders. And I say that wholeheartedly, understanding that I truly believe, I think the world of Shedeur Sanders. I think Shedeur Sanders, with talent around him, we saw it at the end of last season. With talent around Shedeur Sanders, I think he's the guy. He's the guy that can excel. And I truly believe he deserves 17 games to prove himself. But he also had to understand that he needed to outperform Deshaun Watson without a shadow of a doubt. And it is clear that that has not happened. And I can't talk something into existence if it's clear that it's not happening. If Shedeur Sanders is not clearly head and shoulders above Deshaun Watson, even in practice, then I have a hard time advocating for Shedeur Sanders to start over Deshaun Watson because there are 250 million reasons why the Browns are heavily invested in starting Deshaun Watson. So for me, even though I truly believe football-wise, I'm going to bring Eli in on this conversation in 2 seconds. Football-wise, I think Shedor's the guy. I'm going to tell you how it's going to play out, by the way. And it's going to be consistent for what I've said all offseason. This is how it's going to play out. Deshaun Watson's going to be named a starter. He's going to look good in practice. Preseason's going to look a little shaky because it's finally, full speed. But we're going to roll with Deshaun. Deshaun's going to start the first 2 games. And, something's going to happen. I'm not calling for injury or anything like that, but something's going to happen. And by the end of September, Shedeur Sanders will be the starting quarterback, and he'll be the starting quarterback for the rest of the season. That's, in my eyes, that's what's going to happen. So even this whole parade of we're going to figure, we're going to say by the end of September, boy, they should have went with Shedeur in the first place. But it is on Shedeur to beat out Deshaun Watson. He has to, shadow of a doubt, he has to overwork himself to ensure that he beats out Deshaun Watson. And clearly that is not happening. So Deshaun is going to be the starter. And if you're locked in as an organization on Deshaun Watson as a starting quarterback, at that point, Mary Kay is right. Name him the starter right now. Name him the starter and build an offense around Deshaun, if that's going to be your guy. I think they're going to make that call anyway. Let's stop the flirting. Let's stop the teasing. Let's stop it goes down in the DM. Just ask him out. Let him know, like, hey, you're the starter. You have so many reasons to figure out why he's going to be your starting quarterback in the story, whether we like it or not. In the story, Deshaun Watson's starting quarterback. So with that being said, let me bring in Eli. You've heard him tonight, every night on InsideEdge Primetime. Eli's my ace behind the scenes as well. He does a lot for the InsideEdge Network, and I want to acknowledge him publicly.
Thank you.
Eli, thank you for all you do for the network.
I appreciate you.
No problem. Thank you.
No, thank you, sir. No, thank you. All right. What you got for me?
All right, that's enough of that.
All right. Let's get locked back in. All right. What you got for me?
All right. You heard this news today. Yes. I know you and Chad probably going to go a little bit more extensive on this tomorrow, perhaps. Or maybe not. You might steer clear of it, which might be for the best.
Yeah. I'm hoping enough news breaks.
Right. When you heard this today, what were you thinking?
Just a lot of disappointment. A lot of disappointment. We have been down this road, Double A. I mean, we've talked about it on Main Event. I've talked about it on Primetime. I've talked about it on this show here on Midnight Run. We know what we're getting with Deshaun Watson. Here's the reality of the situation. Deshaun Watson was a good quarterback at one point in time in Houston, Texas, for the Houston Texans. He was great. He was maybe the next best thing to Patrick Mahomes. I mean, like, this guy, like, was he going to be the guy to get past Mahomes? I mean, and then all the stuff happens. And then the injuries happen. And the poor play, mixed with not being on the field, mixed with he's away from the team a majority of the year last year. But then when Shedeur comes in, he wants to be a mentor. I just think it's odd. I just think his whole run with the Browns has been wild, just wild. I mean, I was never a fan of it, to be honest with you, Double A, when they brought him in. I think giving a boatload of money to a guy that is you're not even sure when he's going to play next was asinine to begin with. And now we're sitting in a situation where the Browns are like, okay, I learned a lesson when I was a kid, Double A. I'm going to teach you. Anybody out there, when I was a young child, I wanted to help my mom out. Okay, my Mama Moon still to this day cries her eyes out when I bring this story up. And I'm like, Mom, it's okay. I did it. I was wrong. There was a curling iron sitting on the bathroom sink. And I had thought I would be so nice and I'd bring the curling iron to my mother by grabbing the curling iron and handing it to her. My mom freaked out. She goes, no, Eli, oh my, I mean, my mom's such a sweetheart. So she was so worried about me. I'm good. Hands are good. We're all cool. But here's the thing, Double A. I learned very quickly at a young age that curling irons should not be picked up while they're hot. Now, if I went back and grabbed that curling iron today, 20-something years later,
Yeah.
and I grabbed it, then I'm a dumbass because I know the curling iron's hot. This is the same situation with the Cleveland Browns and Deshaun Watson. You have put your hand on the curling iron when you first started just to see if it would get hot. And it's hot, buddy. And it didn't work out. It didn't feel very good, did it? And then you come back years later and you're like, I wonder if that curling iron's still hot. I wonder if Deshaun Watson still has it.
But that curling iron looks good. It looks good as it's sitting there.
It sure does look great until you grab it and you feel how hot it is and you go into another 3-14, 4-12, whatever season, Double A. It is so disappointing. Are we trying? Here's my question, I guess, to you on your own show. Are we trying to build this team into a rebuild, into a new team? Or are we trying to dig up the graveyard? Are we trying to dig up the ghost of the past? Because in my opinion, Deshaun Watson's career with the Cleveland Browns ended last year. In my opinion, we went to move on. That's why they took 2 quarterbacks. That's why they eventually, for a moment, brought Kenny Pickett in. They brought all these guys in. They even brought Joe Flacco in as a veteran presence for anything but to play Deshaun Watson. And I know he was dealing with the injury. I get it. But here's the reality of the situation, Double A. We are trying to build. We just had a very successful draft, at least on paper, after a great draft that looked great on the field. Why would we do this? Why wouldn't we give Shedeur?
I'll tell you why. Because after you just mentioned, they brought in 4 different quarterbacks. They feel Deshaun's better than all of them. They feel that we finally have a team that we could build. We need. I'm trying really hard here. They feel that they need someone with veteran presence who knows the league. And you know what did it? You know what did it, honestly? You remember his last great game, right? It was a while ago. But you remember his last great game?
I want to say it was a comeback. Yeah.
It was during the 2023 season.
Yeah.
It was the game against Baltimore. And he balled in that game. And the week before, he led the comeback against Seattle. In Seattle, he led the comeback in 2023.
Yeah.
In their eyes, if it wasn't for an injury that took him out for the rest of the season, it would have been Deshaun Watson leading the Browns to the playoffs, not Joe Flacco. And Deshaun Watson, oh boy, I'm just being objective.
I know.
Deshaun Watson in those 2 games in 2023 looked better than any game that Joe Flacco played the remainder of that season.
Yeah, here's the thing,
I'm just being objective.
I get it, and I understand. But here's the reality: is like you have a chance if you're the Cleveland Browns to find out if Shedeur Sanders is the guy, and if he isn't the guy, you can find out who the guy is next year. There's a plethora of quarterback prospects. Arch Manning, I think, has a ton to prove still, but he did look good at the end of the year. You got him, Dante Moore, a ton of other guys that are going to be available if the Browns are in position to get a quarterback.
I think the Browns are telling you all that. Do every story we've covered here on the network. The Browns are telling you in 3,000 ways in one that Shedeur is not their guy.
Yeah, and this kind of it feels like this is almost the end before the season even started, to be honest. It like really disheartens me because I don't know what Shedeur Sanders has to do to just get a shake here. And for anybody out there that's like, well, he did get the last little stretch of the season. Brother, there was nobody else to play. There was nobody else to play. They had expended all their options. So what else were they going to do? Put a punter out there to throw the ball? I mean, so I don't buy that. This is his opportunity, and I just have a hard time believing, and I respect Mary Kay Cabot, but I just have a tough time believing that Deshaun Watson's outplaying Shedeur Sanders. I have just a tough time. Here's what I'll say, though, Double A.
I don't because it's practice. It's not in full pads.
I get it, but you don't think Shedeur's looking just as good? After being with the team the entire time, spending so much time with Todd Monk and spending time just living in the Browns headquarters, in the facility. I mean,
I hope you're right. I really do. I hate the fact that I am presenting this idea. I hate this. But for this statement to be loud and clear. And I know how people feel about Mary Kay. Mary Kay's been good. There will be no Mary Kay slander on this show. She's always been great to me. Yes, relationships do matter. She's been great to me during my time at the Fan. There will be no Mary Kay slander here. But I was just saying, in general, not just her reporting, but other reports, Zach Jackson and others who have reported, nobody has come out and said Shedeur has looked impressive in practice, like the smoke signals we're getting about Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, Double A.
It's frustrating. Eli, it is frustrating. It is because, again, if politics was not involved with this, if it wasn't about the contracts, I said at the beginning of the segment, you put Shedeur Sanders out there for 17 games. With this team, with the young group we have now, I think we're competing for an AFC North title. If you only got to get to like 10 wins, I think the division's there.
I know we got.
They're looking at. Let's take a break because there's more to this. Unpack Wednesday will be unpacking our emotions to what just break because we both have more to say about this. Remember to like, follow, subscribe to our socials at InsideEdgeNet, at InsideEdgeNet. That's the best way to support us here on the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader for sports, entertainment, mental health, culture, all that stuff. Our pillars here at the Inside Edge Network. Make sure you support us. If you have thoughts, too, on this topic, leave a comment. We'll read it on the air, if appropriate. We'll read it on the air. But when we come back, we got more to unpack on this because this is very emotional. It's very emotional because this is the one time where I don't disagree with Eli. I actually do not disagree with Eli, but this runs deep because there's a lot to this. Let's take our final break. More on this when we come back.
Clean energy, bold flavors, no jitters. See why people won't shut up about Dubby. Clean energy, no jitters or crash. Helps you lock in and focus. Over 15 absolute fire flavors to choose from. Visit Dubby.gg and use promo code InsideEdge10. Mosser Moments Photography is a husband and wife wedding photography team based in Cleveland, owned and operated by Ryan and Hallie Mosser. For the past 10 years, they've captured more than 100 weddings across Northeast Ohio and beyond, always working together as a true two-person team. Their style centers on authentic, emotional storytelling, documenting the real moments between two people in love and creating images that feel natural, comfortable, and true to the couple. Rooted in Northern Ohio, but inspired by their travels, Ryan and Hallie bring a warm, personal approach to every wedding day. Their work blends experience, consistency, and a genuine passion for helping couples relive their best day through timeless photography. Learn more at MosserMomentsPhotography.com.
This is Midnight Run on the Inside Edge Network. Here's your host, Anthony Alford.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. Midnight Run. We have breaking news today on Deshaun Watson and becoming, or he could be QB1, according to Mary Kay. We'll talk about that. More on that in 2 seconds. I want to remind you, this is my last show of the week, Midnight Run, and this will be the last time I'm able to say that on a Wednesday night, because starting next week, as part of our expanded programming schedule, this show, Midnight Run, will expand to 5 nights a week, Monday through Friday, midnight to 1 o'clock. Midnight Run with myself, Anthony Alford, my producer, Eli Moon. We'll be with you 5 days a week right here on Midnight Run. And this all starts with Unfiltered at 5 o'clock with Kyle Cornell, 5 days a week. InsideEdge Primetime with Eli Moon and Chad Bryan at 10 o'clock. And then my show on at midnight. Plus, all your favorite shows here on the InsideEdge Network. Our the favorite weekly shows, they'll still be here as well. So we're expanding. We're so excited. We're not excited about this news. I was just thinking about this, Eli. So if you're just joining us, if you've been around sports talk at any point here locally in Cleveland, or I guess nationally at this point on the football circles, Mary Kay Cabot of Cleveland.com reported in her article today or yesterday morning that Deshaun Watson emerged from the Browns' voluntary minicamp last week with an edge over Shedeur Sanders in the two-man quarterback competition, and he has the inside track to be named the Browns' QB1, sources telling Cleveland.com. And we're debating here. We're trying to talk through a little bit of okay, if he is the starter, how should we feel as fans? How should we feel that Shedeur Sanders gets screwed out of an opportunity at this? Because Shedeur Sanders had that stretch at the end of the season, like, hey, he was balling out. But to me, all signs in the organization have pointed to Deshaun Watson being he's the starter. You might as well name him. Let's bring Eli back in. I wanted to bring this up to you on air. I wonder, Eli, if you almost, if you're a Browns fan,
Yeah.
you kind of almost, I'm thinking like, man, if you're going to roll with Deshaun Watson, it might almost be better for the Browns to start the regular season on the road in week 1.
Yeah.
I think the Bluebirds are going to, he makes one mistake, which will probably happen. He makes one critical mistake. And the Boos, I remember there was a couple games, not last year, but the year before where he was just hurt really the whole year. Mm-hmm. And I've never heard boos so loud through the radio then with Deshaun Watson, his ineffective play, that could happen. I think that you better hope if you're the schedule, you better hope the schedule makers start the Cleveland Browns on the road in week 1 if Deshaun Watson's the starter.
Yeah, AA. Dude, I didn't think I'd be this worked up at almost 1 a.m. Just a programming announcement. We're probably going to go a little bit over because I think this is just crazy, man. I think this is just absolutely crazy. I just can't believe we are today. Hello, it's Thursday, I guess. We are a week removed, literally an hour into the officially a week removed from, on paper, a great draft.
Yeah,
the Browns.
We did the draft cup. Commissioner's Couch did a great job. We were here last Thursday with the draft coverage.
Yeah, I mean, and thank you to everybody out there for tuning in. I believe over 1,000 of you. We really appreciate it. Really do. Thank you. A lot more to come. And we want to bring that excitement for the fans of the Browns fans. And look, we're Browns fans, but we're going to call it what it is. And this is BS, AA. This is BS. This is so disheartening. How am I supposed to get excited about Denzel Boston or try to get excited about Casey Concepcion? I'm warming up. I'm trying. How am I supposed to get excited about Spencer Fano? How am I supposed to get excited about these guys when Deshaun Watson is the starting quarterback of my team? I have seen this story. I've seen it. It's like watching a bad movie and then deciding to watch it again. Adam Sandler has a lot of great movies. Sandy Wexler, probably one of the worst. It's like if I watch Sandy Wexler 3 times in a row. I know what it's going to be about. I know the only reason I'm probably going to watch that movie is for Jennifer Hudson, okay? That's the only reason I'm going to watch that movie. And here's the thing. There's not going to be a Jennifer Hudson on this Browns team. So yeah. I'm not going to – come on.
But like the director's cut is going to release something that's like, groundbreaking with this. I don't – man. I guess we got to figure out, has Shedeur Sanders looked that bad in practice? Like I'm trying to figure out where all the disrespect in the organization. I can't blame the reporters because It ain't just Mary Kay reporting this. It's going to be clear. It ain't just her. I'm trying to figure out, is Shedeur Sanders really looking that bad in practice where he couldn't beat out? Because I have to follow trends here. He initially did not beat out Dylan Gabriel. Mm-hmm. He didn't. He did not beat out Dylan Gabriel. Right. Even though when he was on the field, we saw somebody look a lot better than Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah.
And then it's clear. It's almost to the point, and I said it on this show before, it's almost to the point, I know Shedeur Sanders and the Sanders family, they want to handle things the right way. I wouldn't blame them one bit. If Deshaun Watson's named the starter, trade me.
I wouldn't blame him either. It's disrespectful. I mean, it's just so disrespectful. What this tells me is the Cleveland Browns don't care about talent at the end of the day. They just care about where the money is. If the money is invested in a position, they're going to trot these guys out. It's a clear example. Jerry Jeudy was wide receiver 1 last year because they're paying him a lot of money. And why are they going to try to make it work again this year? More than likely, because he's making a lot of money. Deshaun Watson, making a lot of money. I don't get it. I truly don't get it. You know how, if there's one thing the Cleveland Browns know how to do well, and I love them as much as they drive me crazy. If there's one thing they know how to do well, it's get excitement built up by draft time, and then within the next 2 weeks, crush any excitement that the city has. How is anyone, AA, supposed to get excited for September football with Deshaun Watson when I could be, and we'll see what the Guardians do, I could be watching a Guardians ramp up into October baseball getting ready. I could be getting excited for Cavaliers preseason going into the regular season. I could be cooking out during Labor Day or whatever holiday is going on and enjoying myself. Why would I subject myself to the same song and dance? That's what this is, AA. We want something different.
But here's the thing. Again, to that point, the Browns actually are going to be in the news later today because they're going to break ground on the new stadium. So this is the very definition of, hey, let's soft launch this thing a little bit. It's it's as close to a Friday news dump as you can get.
Yeah.
Except Mary Kay's actually good at her job, so it led to a ton of engagement and stuff. This is very tricky. This is extremely tricky because, by all accounts, Deshaun looks phenomenal in practice. He always does. No pad. He always looks great in practice.
You did say that. In fairness, and if anybody's been following along for the network for the last few months, they've heard you mention it. I mean, and say it really. I mean that Deshaun Watson is a great practice quarterback, and the Browns, I guess they just are throwing out the last 2-3 years of football. I guess that's what we're doing.
To me, and I said this about Todd Monken. This is not a shot at Todd Monken. This is just what he signed up for. I truly believe if we go back, because I know we have a few new audience members tuning in, so you may have not heard us talk about this. During the coaching search, all those coaches that were interviewed during that extensive coaching search, how many of them dropped out? And I guarantee you a good chunk of them dropped out because they were told they had to make Deshaun Watson work. I firmly believe.
It sure feels like a reality now, bro.
Not even I'm telling lies here, folks. It screams to me. Why would Grant Udinski drop out of the running to become a head coach in the NFL when we have all these available draft picks on paper and all materialized? We know why. We know why.
Double A, they had that long meeting with Nate Shieldhouse, and I just imagine that meeting went so swimmingly. And then, they're like, and Jimmy's like, and by the way, Deshaun Watson, week 1 starter, and Shieldhouse like, hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
And think about this. I guarantee you the meetings didn't start with, oh yeah, we got Deshaun Watson. I guarantee you they did not lead the sales pitch. They did not lead the meetings with Deshaun Watson. I think it was kind of exactly how you just said it. It was all right, we're gonna do this, and this. Oh, before you go, what's your plans for Deshaun?
Yeah. I mean, dude, all you can do is laugh sometimes. I feel like sometimes all you can do is laugh because I was so excited a week ago. The Commissioner's Couch here on the Inside Edge Network did a great job. You and Chad, Ryan Mosser, and David Calhoun, you guys all did a great job just getting me excited. The first round coverage, I mean, all weekend long, just great picks. Emmanuel McNeil Warren out of Toledo, an Ohio guy. I mean, I know you're a Bowling Green guy. I get it, but I mean, it's pretty exciting. There's so much great.
It is a great pickup.
Yes, I know. All jokes aside, the Toledo Bowling Green rivalry lives on. But it's how can I be excited about this anymore?
One little sidebar. In training camp, him and Harold Fannin, they're going to be facing off ones versus ones. Let's go. Let's go.
And I'd love to be more excited about things like that, Double A, but then we come back to what we're talking about here, which is Deshaun Watson could be the starting, and seeming like, based off Mary Kay Cabot's report and other reports, and what we've talked about here on the Inside Edge Network, that he's going to be the starter. And
I'll read a few parts. I don't want to give the whole article away, but I have the subscription at cleveland.com. I'll read parts of this article here. Quote again from Mary Kay. On the first day of voluntary minicamp, the only one of the 3 days open to the media. Watson won the day. This is day one. Won the day with quick decision-making, better performance in the pre-snap process, and more efficiency in the passing game. And then, again, I don't want to give away the entire article here, but the plan that day was to let Sanders go first in team drills and get more reps. But Watson ended up with more snaps because of how he handled himself in the 7-on-7s and 11-on-11s. Sanders, then eventually Sanders did get first team reps or starting reps, but then Watson got more comfortable with the system. And then it also said here on the second day of minicamp, Watson went first in team drills and took most of the reps, including in the red zone and a 2-minute drill, according to sources. By then, Watson had earned the QB1 snaps by looking the part of a starting quarterback. and then with tracks to the fact he started 72 games, worked hard to study Monken's offense. The fact is, it all tracks that they want Deshaun to be the guy. So just name him. Just rip the Band-Aid, just name him. I don't see a path where Shedeur Sanders is starting week 1, barring preseason injury. I just don't see a path.
Yeah, I mean, but the Browns are gonna. Yeah, but doubly the Browns are gonna protect their ticket sales as much as they can. They are not naming a starter till the preseason, at the very least. They're gonna protect their ticket sales because I'm so honest. I know I'm not the only one that feels like this in Cleveland. There are a lot of people that feel like they are over Deshaun Watson, and even if it isn't Shedeur Sanders, and I'll still stand on it. He is the best option at quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. He is. Going into this year, on the roster, he is the best option. The Browns took a shot at Taylor Green in the 6th round. They did add to the quarterback room. But that tells you all you really need to know. They have not addressed they didn't go Ty Simpson. They didn't go any of these Drew Aller, any of these other guys. They stayed with what they had for the most part. And welcome to Cleveland, Taylor Green. We'll see what happens. But Shedeur Sanders is the best option. And the Browns are basically telling Cleveland, well, you know what? We got too much money still on this guy. And I know most of the money I get is paid. I get it. But they just, like you've said, I'll use your reference. They want to take the Tesla for another spin. And I'll say this, Double A. I'm not going to be surprised when the Browns grab this curling iron. But I don't want to hear how upset they are that it didn't work out when a curling iron is bleeping hot and you've already grabbed it. Deshaun Watson is sitting there. He is ready. He's like, come, just one more time. You know what? Let's do it. One more time. And the Browns are excited.
Hard to study Monken's offense, of course.
I guess.
He's around.
If you're Todd Monken, I'll be honest. If you're the Browns, and this is my opinion, if you name Deshaun Watson, the Browns that being, as the starting quarterback, you have to win the division or make the playoffs, or unfortunately, Todd Monken will be on the hot seat. There are certain decisions that you cannot make as an organization and expect for fans and everybody else around you to continue to support. And I get it. Todd Monken, I'm glad you're here in Cleveland right now. But if you name Deshaun Watson and this Browns organization names Deshaun Watson the starting quarterback and trots him out, and we run into 4 or 5 wins, whatever have you, when we could at least if we were going to do the same thing, wouldn't you have rather found out with maybe the future and at least found out going in?
This is not Todd Monken's decision.
But he's the face.
You're placing the blame on the wrong person. This is not a Todd Monken decision. This is an organization decision. This is a Haslam's, and Andrew Berry's tied into this. This is an organizational decision. Yeah, sure, if it doesn't work out, Todd Monken will take the fall.
Yes.
This is not his. This is in public. Sure, he'll be making the call. He's the public face, like Stefanski, the public face. This is not his call.
It's not Double A, but at the same point in time, like you said, he's the public face. And here's the thing: the Haslams have been pretty good about passing the buck. So they'll just pass the buck to Todd Monken and say it was his call. And unfortunately, Mr. Monken, that's Coach Monken. That's where we're at. That's where one Eli Moon's at with you.
Let me follow up here real quick. So let's just say, man, I hate seeing the future. I feel like Raven from That's So Raven. I hate seeing the future.
Heck yeah.
Or this is 1 something in the morning. Miss Cleo, call me now.
Yeah, that's right. The lines are open.
1-900. Those are the best until she starts stealing everybody's money. Again,
yeah, that's never the fun part when the money goes away.
Right. So what happens when we fast forward to the end of the season and Deshaun doesn't work out?
I'm glad you asked me because I was going to ask you, but I guess it's your show, so you should ask me.
I'll answer first. I would hope he's off the books. Because what is it, the post June 1 cut of next year, 2027, you will be off the books. And I said before, the next year's QB class, that's what the Browns are eyeing if Deshaun doesn't work. The painful thing for me, though, Eli, is that through all of this conversation, this is the realization that they don't think Shedeur Sanders measures up to Deshaun Watson or any of those quarterbacks in 2027.
Yeah, and Double A, my two thoughts on this, and I know we're running over, and we gotta get everybody to bed here soon. But and thanks for everybody tuning out there. Still, we appreciate you.
People are locked in right now at 1 a.m.
They sure are. They sure are. And I'll say two things on this. To answer your question, if Deshaun Watson starts, they find out it doesn't work out, which
and I think, and real quick, and I think your expectation. I never thought about what you said about you got to win the division. I think you're right. I think if Deshaun Watson's the quarterback in this AFC North, you're saying that Deshaun Watson, in their eyes, Deshaun Watson is up there with Joe Burrow, better than Aaron Rodgers, and can compete with Lamar Jackson. That's what you're saying. That's what the organization, the ownership, that's what they're saying. That they believe, I truly believe that they think Deshaun Watson measures up to Joe Burrow, Aaron Rodgers, and can contend with Lamar Jackson. And of course, obviously you're facing their defenses. I think this is how they feel when they watch Deshaun in practice. You look at the language of these reports. I think they feel like they're looking at Deshaun Watson 2018, 2019, 2020, when he was one of those elite quarterbacks in the league. And that's what they're paying for.
Yeah, and it's a dangerous thing to look back in the past, especially, 6-7 years ago. I mean, a lot has changed in 6-7 years. 6-7 years ago, I mean, the top quarterbacks in the league, a few of them were different, positions. I mean, a lot has changed in 6-7 years.
The game has changed.
Completely changed. And it's yeah, I mean, you're not sending Deshaun Watson out there to find out if he can grow and develop it to become your franchise quarterback or anything like this. No, you're going out there. If you're the Cleveland Browns and you put Deshaun Watson out there, you're saying this roster is good enough to compete with the rest of the AFC North right now based off the last two drafts we just put together. This roster is better than, or at least good enough to compete and go win this division. That's what the Browns are saying. And that's a dangerous, dangerous game to play. Because we spent weeks before the draft talking about how this is a multi-year type of rebuild, how this draft was going to be, last year was big, this is another cornerstone building draft, and next year, whether you go in with Shedeur and you can build and really lock in, or you have to figure out your quarterback, you at least have more of a direction. But all that goes out the window if Deshaun Watson's named the starting quarterback. It is not about growth and development. It is about going and winning the division, which winning is a great thing. We want to see winning in Cleveland. But I just have a hard time believing that Deshaun Watson is going to create more wins in Cleveland than Shedeur Sanders or any other option we have out there right now. And that's what's dangerous about all of this, Double A. It can not only set them back because they go through this and they fall on their face. It is a dangerous game because not only are you going to lose Deshaun Watson, you keep bringing, you brought up Shedeur Sanders about not wanting to, maybe be here. I wouldn't blame him either if he's feeling disrespected. I wouldn't blame him either. So the Browns might be in a position, worst case scenario, where they flop on their face, but not enough to get a top quarterback like they did this year. And they're looking for a starting and backup quarterback next year. The room's empty because you move on from Watson. Shedeur then tells you, I'm cool. You passed over me so many times. I am so cool on this. And I would not blame him. And here's my final thought on all of this. And I know I'm going to kick it back to you, and you send the people on their way. I'm having such a tough time over the last year and a half understanding how Shedeur Sanders went from a number 2 overall draft pick projection.
I'm glad you brought this up.
To a 5th round draft pick, to not being able to beat out Dylan Gabriel, to now not being able to beat out Deshaun Watson. But the dude does all the right things, right? He had a crazy accuracy completion percentage at Colorado. One of the higher completion percentages in NCAA history.
Yeah, he did. He did.
He was literally sitting there in the mock drafts. It was either him or Cam Ward. They were going to go 1-on-1. That's why they were doing all those little videos where Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders meet each other and have conversation, whatever. they were doing all the things to set him up. And then all of a sudden, for whatever reason, and I guess we won't know till it comes out, but Shedeur Sanders fell. And he's doing all the right things. He's like, all right, I'm going to come in here. I'm going to do all the right things. He's had a few setbacks here and there. I get it. He's also a younger dude. But he's in the room right now, and he's been there, and he's soaking everything in. So I have a tough time just believing where is the guy that we were talking about being maybe the first quarterback off the board? Where is all that?
I don't know. And like practice-wise, what are we looking at here too? But I truly believe we have to get an insight somehow, some way on how the Browns feel about Shedeur Sanders and how the rest of the league felt about Shedeur Sanders, at least during that draft stretch. And I keep thinking back. I should have pulled the clip. We don't got time anymore. But remember when Mac was on our show, Mac Robinson, 92.3 The Fan personality, works for the Cleveland Browns radio network. He was on the show. And his comments about Shedeur stick out to me at this moment right now, even though we conducted that interview like 2 or 3 months ago. The highs of Shedeur Sanders. It's very high. But then there's one bad interception, like horrific interception. There's one bad moment, like it's too high and too low. I'm just, again, this is frustrating because I'm trying really hard to see how they're seeing it. But then you can also, just say it's the Cleveland Browns and all that. It's almost like you have a long division problem, but the other side of the division problem is 0. And no matter what, you can do whatever you want. If the problem is 0, the answer is 0.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're right. I mean, and I'm just having a tough time. I've been having a tough time.
There's going to be a day, and there's going to be a day very soon. I don't think we're going to have. Do you think we're going to have to wait till June 9th to hear who's starting?
Yes, I think we are not going to hear this until preseason week 3.
But we're going to. I think there's going to be so much leaks. I think they're going to name Deshaun. I think it's going to be I think that's the one area where we will disagree.
Yeah.
I think we're going to. Honestly, it wouldn't shock me if we heard that Deshaun Watson is starting within the next month.
I'm going to be honest. The only reason I disagree with you is because the Browns love their money, as they've been very clear. They're going to protect their money, and they're not going to alienate the fan base months before the season, fresh off of an exciting draft.
They already did, though.
They're doing so, but it hasn't come from. Sorry to interrupt you, Doubly, but it hasn't come from their mouths. They haven't officially put it on a report, an official release. And if the question is, when are they going to officially announce? I'm telling you, I believe it won't be till preseason week 3. They are going to do the song and dance where they trot Shedeur out, and this is Shedeur's week to show what he's got. But it's all bullshit. Excuse my language, but it's bullshit.
It is.
I mean, it's where is the disconnect? I'm just trying to figure out. Like, all these draft scouts, everybody like this, projecting this guy number 2 overall, drops the 5th round, and now he's not even good enough to beat out Dylan Gabriel last year, or Kenny Pickett, or Joe Flacco, and I love you, Flacco, but any of those guys, and now he can't beat out Deshaun Watson fresh off an injury. Hold on, the math isn't mathing, and I understand me and Chad scrapped mathematics Monday because neither one of us are math majors. The math just ain't mathing. It really ain't.
No, something's happening. Something's up.
Yeah.
Where he is not beating out these guys.
Yeah.
And, we need to see, we need to know, I guess the next time the media meets, and Tom Munkin is smart in this aspect. He has openly said, basically through his attitude, that he kind of hates the quarterback discussions, which is probably the correct way to go about things right now. But eventually he will have to talk about it. He's going to have to talk about these reports. Real quick,
yes,
I do want to mention a couple interesting dates to this discussion. The schedule release is tentatively scheduled for the 2nd week of May. So by that point, you will know, the fans will know the Browns' schedule. So I would imagine I'm predicting that at some point after the schedule release, so sometime between mid-May into June, Deshaun's going to be officially named a starter. I think they're going to wait till the schedule release. They're going to wait for the season ticket holders. Oh, Cleveland Browns, yay. and get that out. And then, because I think the noise is too strong. I don't think you can wait till the preseason. Logically, I think you're right, but I don't think you can wait only because the noise is too strong. Yeah, we're going to all need therapy. All right, we got to end the show, but we're going to need therapy.
Yeah. What wrestling pay-per-views are on? What PLEs are on in September?
Money in the Bank.
Perfect, because I'll watch the same song and dance, but I'm going to need something to get my mind off of it. I know the WWE products had its own problems, but it's not a Deshaun Watson problem. And that's
they're trying to figure out if they can hold a WrestleMania in the middle of a war zone right now. So that's another.
All right, buddy, take us home.
Yeah, that's another issue. If you want to talk about those gas prices right now, boy, we're on it. Get fuel perks. You'll be happy about that. All right, we're done. Did I tell you it was a bombshell of a day? Man, just nuts. But until, I don't know. I don't even have closing thoughts. Go to bed. Try not to get fired from your job, get laid off, or anything like that. Do your best. Pray. It's all great. It is. Have God involved in your life. Real quick, workout of the week. Workout of the week. I've done so many of them. It's been great. The ab crunches. My stomach's been tight the entire day from doing those. All right, we're done. Browns. I was in a great mood today, too. Cavs won the playoff. Cavs won. They won Game 5. They won Game 5 Friday night. Remember, David and Autumn will have Game 6 coverage. We have Game 7 coverage planned. Let's hope we don't have to break it out. If we do, myself, Eli, and Robert Zicki will be on after Game 7. All right, guys. Have a good night, everybody.